Okay, we're live. I had to fix my microphone. It didn't want to recognize it for a while there. Last time I just plugged it in, but it wasn't working. So I downloaded the drivers, the appropriate drivers, and I think I sound better actually, but I'm not sure. I'm a bit flustered because that whole thing. Man, streaming is stupid. I should never do this again. This should be the last stream ever. Just kidding. Also, we have Copa. We have AI Copa. It says, "I love streaming AI." That's a quote from Copa, obviously. Did I tweet this out? I'm fucking stupid. I just tweeted out the video without saying anything. Let's redo that. Let's re-roll that tweet. We are live, and by we, I mean just me. Link. I don't know if Carl's gonna want to join today. I did promise him though that I would have him on next time I stream if he was willing and ready. So if he shows up, I should open up Discord now. Do I need this Twitter open? Doesn't matter. We have Copa up, right? Yeah, we got Copa blocking our. Copa's our condom for inappropriate things on our browser. That's not even true because like I have it set up so that won't happen. But yeah, what was I doing? Discord. I'll keep it open just in case he says something. I forgot I don't need to download Discord on a computer. I can just use it from the browser. Open Discord. So last time when I told him like I don't even have Discord on this computer, I could have made it work. Although I think it's better just to have like the app or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, we're live. I should probably share this also on the channel saying we're live. Because right now I'm the only one here. Last time people showed up like immediately, which is funny. We are live now. It's going to be really sad if I'm just talking to myself for most of this. What was I doing? Where's Carl? How do I see Carl? Actually, no, I was looking for the settings for Discord. You know what? No, fuck you. Whatever. If he calls for he's hearing the default mic. I don't care. Anyways, yeah, I'm a bit fucking mad, just because that whole microphone thing was throwing me off. Warning: low bitrate. Shut the fuck up, stream. You're such a liar. There's literally 0 drop frames, but that's because there's literally no frames on screen. It's just one singular Copa. I should take off the starting soon because we already started. Yeah, so we're. Am I really gonna start with nobody here? Fuck it. Let's do it. Chat. That's not here. How do we switch again? W? No. Q? There we go. We got we got new stuff. We got Misty, and we got a bingo card. No, we do not, because I didn't set it up right. Where's the bingo card? Is it not here? No, it's right here. Okay, let's close this. Is it working? Will this work? No? Oh, there we go. There we go. It worked, guys. That aren't here. Don from the future, maybe, if he's watching this later. Possibly. Okay, AC tweeted me out, retweeted me. Nice. I got scared because he streamed earlier today. I thought that we scheduled for the same time. Like, oh, damn it. That was a mistake. But no, he was 6 a.m. I scheduled it for 6 p.m., but then started half an hour earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have just stuck to the 6 instead of starting half an hour earlier. Anyways, we have Misty, we have Jonks there in the corner, we have Copa, obviously, Graphic D's nuts, and yeah, we're gonna be doing other videos. I feel like I should wait because there's nobody here. I'm gonna feel stupid doing this by myself, but whatever. Anyways, this is another video we didn't do last week. We started to do it last week, but it was really bad, so we stopped. So let's start. It does sound pretty loud. I should have checked that. Whatever.
Why
I think I put it like down here, right? Let's see.
modern Pokemon games suck?
That's super low. No.
Pokemon is Nintendo.
That's a little bit lower or a little bit better. What if I just do this? Will that work better?
Nintendo's most stagnant and
That
lazy
seems still pretty low.
franchise. Why don't people like
That sounds... Oh, wait. It sounds the same for me because I'm stupid. Yeah, what's up, Pop Culture Mechanics? What's up? How's it going? I'm flustered because my microphone wasn't working earlier. So now I'm off my game. Now I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm throwing the game. We're going to lose the big game.
Pokemon? Are Pokemon Sword?
That's good, right? That sounds... that, like, looks good audio-wise, right? I think so. Anyways. Yeah, I'll switch to top chat, or switch to live chat, just in case Nosh shows up and says some racist stuff, so I can see him being here, at least. That microphone thing threw me off. Anyways, we're playing motherfucking bingo. We're keeping it off most of the time for no particular reason. Oh no, off the game. Yeah, I'm super off my game, bro. I haven't streamed in a week. And it was a wreck. Anyways, yeah, we're playing bingo with Pokemon videos because they all are unoriginal, so we can make it a bingo game. So that's what we're doing.
Shield really? Why does Pokemon? Bad?
Let's skip this intro because I'm pretty sure we watched it last week. It's not funny. So let's just skip it a little bit.
Erica is Pokemon's greatest waifu. It's no secret that Pokemon...
That was almost funny, but he held the shaky frame for a little too long. So, yeah. Not a very good... Yeah, this is the second time I'm live, Pop Culture. So, yeah, one of two. You've seen half of my live streams. Pretty impressive.
Doesn't have the best...
Also, I hate this. So we're going to turn it off. I hate the little graphic that sits here. I don't know why. This is annoying. I always turn it off.
Reputation nowadays. The consensus seems to be that Pokemon has...
By the way, I don't remember ever seeing this trailer. This trailer looks really cool and makes me wish that we had a game that actually looked like that. But unfortunately, as we can see here, not actual gameplay footage. So it ain't it.
Fallen from grace. That while modern Pokemon is nothing but a cash grab, the old games were these masterpieces that...
Is this slowed down?
These darn zoomers with...
Right? Was it? Oh yeah, it's definitely slowed down. It's like, it looks... Why would you slow it down? Don't do that. Don't do that. Anybody who's trying to make a video, don't slow it down. That's bad.
Craft and the Mine Knight.
Oh yeah, this is also not funny. Unfortunately, we don't have a square that says not funny.
No. Pokemon games have always been underwhelming. This isn't a takedown.
Everybody knows Sabrina? I would say what's her face from the Elite Four, but specifically the anime. What's her name? Yeah, Agatha. No, what's her name? Fucking the ice trainer. I forget her name.
Down of the franchise or anything, you'd never catch me using a move that terrible.
Takedown is fine, but okay.
Just wanted to take a more objective look at how Pokemon...
But I will say, Sabrina is significantly better than Erica. Erica's very bland.
A series all about evolution has never...
Yeah, this bit also was bad. Let's just skip this. Let's just skip to here. Actually, no, we can't, because he says one of the things on the bingo card, because I pre-watched this a little bit last week.
And how Pokemon has always lagged behind other franchises. Pokemon is fantastic. Pokemon games are kinda ass.
What does he mean by that? They are the games. Unless he means just the designs. Which, I mean, okay, but like... Who cares about that? You know? I missed it. Where is it?
Goggles, because we're gonna be...
There it is, there it is. Let's back it up. Back it up, boys.
Pokemon, a series all about evolution, has never...
Transformative content.
Changed. Take off your nostalgia goggles.
There we go. There it is. There it is, boys. Go to your bingo cards. I do have it. Sick. Nostalgia. Also, before we continue, let me mute 1 second. Let me unmute so you guys know I'm still alive. Now let's mute back again. By you guys, I just mean pop culture because he's the only one here, I think. I love to unmute the microphone before I'm ready. All right, there we go. I put the bingo card link. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. Okay, cool. That's epic. I put the wrong link in there. There's the freaking bingo card link. What's up, Boosh? What's up, Nos? How's it going? Yeah, I'm streaming. This is my second time streaming. I don't know why. I'm a non-heterosexual now. What's up, Nos? But yeah, nostalgia. What am I doing? Dude, that I'm so flustered because that stupid microphone thing. What's going on? There we go.
Because we're going to be looking at each generation, seeing what new mechanics.
No mute, no pause. Very true, Nos. Just keep it playing and keep talking over the video is epic and good. This is transformative content. This talking over the video. No, that's dumb, Nos. Actually, no, that was the best part of the stream. It's all downhill from there.
And other franchises. Pokemon.
I really like how they look, though. That's cool. But it has nothing to do with this video.
It's fantastic. Pokemon game channel is built on the.
Oh yeah, whatever. Let's just skip forward because this is boring as hell.
Types, and they're all part of the same evolution line. May as well make them poison type too, because why not? Not enough of those yet. There's only one ghost.
There is a lot of poison types in Gen 1, which is. I think in Gen 2 there's only one that I can think of. And it's Crobat. Nothing else comes to mind, so that's interesting.
Type move that actually does damage. Lick.
Yeah, Tim did prove us all wrong. We really should just be doing this.
But it only has 20 base power.
But then also being muted. And then also stream sniping somebody. And then and then thinking they're on the stream when they're not. That's quality content. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Are you guys going to be able to hear the tamales guy driving by? I don't think so. I think, Nos, does my microphone sound better? Because I installed the drivers this time around. And I think I made it better, but I'm not sure. So let me know in the comments in like 30 seconds after you heard this. I don't know why I muted, but I did. Oh, Vincent liked my post, so he might be stopping by later. Or maybe he's here now and he's just not saying anything. I don't know what... Okay, I agree, Nos, with everything you said.
Matters, since it doesn't even affect psychic types who are supposed to be weak to Ghost, but were instead immune. How did that even happen?
It sounds way better. Epic!
Where are all of...
Isn't that strange? It's literally the same microphone. I just installed the drivers.
The bug moves. The best one in the game...
Okay, what is this guy saying?
Immune. How did that even happen? Where are all of the bug moves? The best one in the game is like twin.
Okay, I didn't do a bingo square for bug moves, but I did do one for bug suck or something like that. So we're gonna count that. That's the bug one. Close enough. Dude, I hate streaming. Yeah, I missed it. I thought we scheduled it for the same time, and I was like, oh damn it, I'm gonna have to like either push it back or move it forward. I didn't realize it was AM for me. I thought it was PM, so I completely slept through it. If I would have realized, I would have probably set an alarm and gotten up.
Needle. Wow. Why is Gust a normal type move? Why is Razor...
Why isn't Gust a normal type move? What's fundamentally flawed about Gust being a normal type move? Is the problem only because in later gens they switched it? Because if they never switched it, then we would just be complaining about the name, but not the move itself. I'll play a Bug's Life game just for you, Nos. Who recommended that, or who mentioned that recently? Was it you? I don't think so. Maybe it was you. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't value our friendship nearly as much as I should.
Wind, a normal type move.
What should it be? A flying type move? Why? It's because it has the word wind in it, you racist.
Why is Comet Punch a normal type move?
Okay, that one is a bit goofy. Also, Mega Punch and Mega Kick are also normals instead of fighting, which is a bit weird. But whatever.
Why is karate
Also, are we gonna get like an actual argument? He's just saying, why is the move the move?
chop a normal type?
Oh yeah, I've heard Toy Story 2 is legitimately good. I've never played it though, but yeah, I've heard that's peak PS1 gaming.
Move. Why can't Charizard learn fly?
That is funny. He can't learn fly. That's a funny quirk.
Why can't Lickitung learn lick?
I mean, whatever.
Enemy trainers are total pushovers because they're limited to level up.
Okay, finally, we're getting to an argument. I actually didn't even know this, but a lot of people are mentioning in their reviews, so I wonder who mentioned it first, like which big YouTuber mentioned it first. They don't learn TM moves. I did not know that. That's interesting. In Yellow, they do, though, which is really funny because there's a guy on, what is it, Route 22, I think? Or no, which one's 22? I don't remember. The bird route with all the bird trainers. One of the guys is like, I need to get TMs. So that's kind of funny. Because they literally can't in red and blue proper. Whose video are we watching? We're watching this guy's video. His name is Flaccid Phoenix, as you can see right here on screen. That's Flaccid Phoenix. He made a Pokemon video. Kids games back then were harder than Dark Souls. Probably. I never played that game. I was supposed to play it last year and I forgot. Oh yeah, did it come out today or does it come out tomorrow, Nos? I think it's today, right? I'm pretty sure I got a notification, or an email rather, that it came out today. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it. I'll probably... See, I'm conflicted because I want to get the remaster because it looks cool. But then if I'm going to review the game, I have to play the PS2 version because I'm gay and I have to play the original versions of games, right? So I'm conflicted. Am I going to buy it twice? I probably am going to, but I'm trying not to spend money. Because I haven't... This year's been a slow year, so I'm trying not to spend as much money. I have it downloaded? Hell yeah. Let me know if like the game's busted because of like any change they made. Because I know in the first one, at least the first boss, I've seen people play it with the analog controls, and it's just like giga easy in comparison to how it was in the original, just because you can like move away immediately instead of having to deal with the tank controls. So if it's giga easy now, let me know. I can vouch for the games back then. Yeah. They were definitely a lot less... I don't want to say they were more directionless, but they definitely let you get lost and mess up. They censored stuff. Yeah, I know about the censorship. Is it literally just that one thing, though? Like that one chick with the clothes? Is it literally just that? Oh my god, I got terrified because an ad is playing, but I can still watch the stream. But I thought for a second, what's going on with my OBS? Why is there some comedian on screen? But no, it's just because I'm the channel owner. I can see the stream while also looking at the actual stream still going by in the ad. So that was terrifying. I shit my pants. I'll be right back. I'm going to clean myself. Okay, I'm back. That was a quick clean. How do you decide what channel to stream on? Stream on the one I don't care about. That's how you decide. Because I've heard streaming and uploading videos on the same channel like messes stuff up. So I ain't trying to mess up Frank. Can you guys hear the tamales guy? Here, if I'm going to... Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to mute. Actually, no. Can you hear it? Well, you can't hear it when he turns off his sounds. So I guess not. No, I don't think you can hear it. It's like super low. Anyways, let's keep playing. Let's keep watching this video.
Moves only.
This is how you know this is real transformative content. Unlike AJ, I'm calling you out, AJ, even though you're never going to see this.
Which is how you get a level 40 Blastoise coming at you with a bubble.
Yeah, that is a bit weird, I will say.
Giovanni is the 8th gym leader, your final test before you take on the Elite Four, the strongest trainers in the region. His specialty is the ground type, which boasts one of the most powerful moves in all of Pokemon, Earthquake. 100 base power.
I mean, I guess for Gen 1 it is pretty powerful, but I don't know. Phrasing it like that, it's like... I don't know, it's kind of bread and butter. It's not like... You know, it's kind of viewed as like bread and butter Gen 1 from my understanding.
100% accuracy.
Tamales rule. Dude, we found this place. Not even this place. It's literally this guy that sets up a car like on the side of the street. So good. So good. I don't know the terms in English, but the dough? It wouldn't be dough. That sounds like bread. The masa? It's like what's it called? Mashed potatoes. Super soft. It's amazing. I love it.
It's a move so devastating that an entire type, as well as an item, and one of the best.
That's weird framing because the type isn't immune to the move, it's immune to the other type. So even if this was a dog shit move, it would still be immune to it. So I don't know.
Better abilities in the game are
weird framing. I should have added weird framing into the bingo card because that was a thing in the last video that we reviewed last week. A lot of weird framing.
all dedicated to negating Earthquake.
No, they're dedicated to negating ground type moves in general.
So where is it? Why use Earthquake when
Dig has the same base power as Earthquake in Gen 1, so it's kind of here. Technically. Though it should be on... I don't think she can learn it. I don't remember if he can, and I don't think these guys can. But yeah, Dig, it's 100 base power in Gen 1. The popsicle guy on the bikes? El paletero? Like this is the popsicle guy? I don't know, this the popsicle guy. Or do you mean in Spanish? In Spanish it would be like paletero. Or if you want to get like specific, what were they called? There was like this famous like popsicles, but they weren't popsicles. They were kind of like, they were just in the plastic. There was no like stick. What were they called? They're not. Were they bolis? No, bolis is something else. It was like the character was like a penguin. I'm not even gonna be able to look it up. Damn, I was trying to make a joke that only I understood, but now I can't even do it. Masa is real, dude? Hell yeah. Oh, rules, not real. What am I saying? But yes, it does rule. Can I finish? Do you think I can finish the video before the stream is over? This is a, what is that, 13-minute video? Yeah, we're totally finishing this one before the stream is over. Definitely.
you could use Scratch?
Sing us narco corrido? Maybe later. What's the... How does that go? Entre la gente mafiosa, su fama se ha propagado, causa de una nueva droga que los gringos han creado. That's the song from Breaking Bad.
Look at Red and Bluno, one of the worst trainers in the series considering his status as an Elite Four.
Is this fucking song gonna get this video? Nah, actually, it's probably gonna be fine. Never mind. I was like, for a second, I thought my stream's gonna get taken down because he's playing the fucking anime music, but probably not.
What can any of his Pokemon actually do to you?
The paleta man. I mean, that's close.
Onix is an abomination, horrific stats, and its best move by
He has a pretty high defense. Like, I think he has like one of the highest defenses in the whole game, so no.
far is Rock Throw.
Like, why? You can make a point without just being wrong that I can agree with.
Which is 50 base power with only 65% accuracy.
Sending a strike team to your location. Damn.
And he has 2 of them! Were Primeape and Poliwrath not good enough for you?
That is, I will agree with this. More diversity in the team definitely could have been a thing. Although I don't see why. Like, just leave Onix there. He's fine. He's fine there.
Bruno? Hitmonchan's elemental punches come off of base
Yeah, they're... Oh, wait.
35 special, so don't worry about those.
Okay, we're gonna count that as crying about the physical special split. And here it is. There we go. Epic. Are you guys playing along? Probably not, but that's okay. I hate streaming. I keep pressing the wrong thing.
Counter could be scary, but Hitmonchan is made of paper, and Counter only returns normal and fighting moves.
Yeah. Wait, it doesn't even return like other physical moves in this gen? That's interesting.
Hitmonlee has high
I'll have
jump
to remember that for when I make the video.
kick, the best fighting type move in the game, at a whopping 85 base power. Wow. It might also use
85 is pretty good. Like it's 5 off from Psychic's base power. That's the best Psychic move in the game. So why are we framing it like it's dog shit? I don't know.
focus energy, which boosts its crit rate. Just kidding, it's glitch.
Yeah, that move's glitchy. We're counting that as the glitchy, super glitchy square. That's kind of a stretch because he just mentioned a glitch, but we're counting that. We're counting that, boys. I hate streaming. There we go.
So it reduces
Keep
it
pressing the wrong thing. Oh, it's DJ Khaled. Wow, you got to bounce? I'm sad now. I'm going to end the stream now. Just because of you, Nos.
instead. Machamp has a 30% chance to stone cold one-hit KO you with a fissure. Except fissure only works if Machamp is faster than you, and believe me, he's not. Enemy AI is much more A than I, which means that they follow one of two patterns. They either choose moves that
I should have picked any. I should have put enemy AI in the Discord. What am I saying? In the bingo card. I should have done that because that's the thing that comes up a lot. I don't think I did. I think I forgot about that.
complete random, or they have good AI, which makes them prioritize super effective moves. Notice that I said super effective moves, and not attacks, because good AI is notoriously easy to cheese. Enemy trainers can only recognize a move's type, not whether or not it can actually deal any damage, which is how you get moments like Dragonite breaking the sound barrier while the collective knowledge of humanity slowly chips it down.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't know. It. I feel it highly unnecessary to go into Gen 1 like that because Gen 1 was made over the course of, I originally thought 3 years in like their spare time, but I recently heard somewhere that they started in 91. So about like 5 years for the GB, the Game Boy, I almost said GBA, for the original Game Boy. In like their spare time as they were making other stuff, the like programmers they hired to actually do the thing like left. The guy that like made the music stayed on as a programmer. It honestly is like a miracle that these games came out in general. So I just feel it's like weird to be like, Gen 1 is very broken. It's made of piss. So I don't know. Find it unnecessary. Doesn't really say much. You can, and this is what I'm going to do in my video. There's a lot more to say than just Gen 1 glitchy. I'm late. You are late, Mr. Lucifer, but I'm glad you're here. You never played Pokemon? Why is Zubat on its own square? Because Zubat, people complain a lot about Zubat popping up a lot, which kind of fair. But I don't know why they picked Zubat specifically, because like Geodude pops up just as frequently in Gen 1. But they tend to focus on Zubat, and I'm pretty sure they do that just because other people do it. So it gets like passed around as a meme, you know? Very strange. I forgot what I was saying before Lucifer showed up, though. Oh yeah, there's other things you can focus on Gen 1, like the consequences of having a 1v1 system as opposed to a traditional like entire team versus entire team system. Why are you giving me money, Lucifer? Now I'm gonna feel obligated to finish setting up the the money thing so I can actually get paid. Damn it! But thank you, I appreciate that. But you should probably save your money for other people that stream more frequently and make content on the channel they're streaming on. Yes, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Also, it says CA, which I know stands for Canada. But let's just pretend it stands for California. I'm going to pretend you live right next to Adam.
talk about the designs
You're neighbors with Adam in California.
for a moment, because yeah, some of them are
Oh, I couldn't read that word. I'm like, what does that say? It says kayaking. That's cool. Are you leaving us? That's epic, though. Very cool. Very true.
pretty lame. One Diglett,
Okay, what does this man say?
the collective knowledge of humanity slowly chips it down.
I really hate the song in the background. It makes him probably not a good choice. Not a good choice to make yourself like come off as a smug jerk. Make YouTube pay you in gold. I should do that.
Let's talk about the designs for a moment, because, yeah, some of them are pretty lame.
Ding, 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 ding. See, guys, I didn't watch this before making the bingo card, but they're just so common that I knew they were going to come up, unless I don't have it here on my squares. I don't think I do. No, yep, there we go. Gen 1 has bad designs, too. Although that's more so in reference to, like, comparing it to other generations, but close enough. We'll call it. Just 2 more, we get a bingo.
1 Diglett.
Did he mention Pokemania? Not really, whatever.
Add 2, you've got an evolution. 1 Magnemite. Add 2, you've got an evolution. 2 heads, tack on 1 more.
I mean, it's okay, the last 2, okay, whatever. Fair, I guess, in quotes, because I don't think there's anything bad with that philosophy as a design, like a design philosophy for the monsters. But whatever. This, though, this is more than just an extra head. This, like, it's grown up. It looks very different. There's more feathers. This is different. The heads look different themselves. This is like the wrong one to complain about. That made no sense. Bad take.
You've got an evolution. Give Game Freak some credit though. Execute to Executor reduces the number of heads.
No comment.
That
No
being
transformative content from that.
said, I appreciate the simplicity of most Gen 1 designs. Yeah, Grimer and Muck are piles of poop, but if Sludge were to come to life, it'd probably look like the Grimer line. I've heard criticism.
That is indeed true. What's up, Zero
Voltorb,
Fox?
and that's just nonsense. Voltorb is
All the birds are the same. Every bird looks the same.
Pokemon's take on RPG mimics. Looks like a treasure chest, but
You know what? That's actually a good point. I'll give this video credit for that, because I had never thought of that, except for the fact that, well, no, yeah, in the electrical plant, excuse me, in the electrical plant, there's items, and some of them are actually Voltorbs and Electrodes. I think they're just Voltorbs actually. But yeah, good point. I never even thought of that. Props to this video. You know what? Just for that, I'll give you a like, buddy. Just for that, because that was a completely original thought. I've never heard anybody else say that, and it's true. It makes sense. Yeah, they're all feds, dude. Never have a bird. I actually do have a Fearow on my team for Pokemon Blue. He is totally a fed, but he's very effective, so I keep him around.
it's actually a trap. Electrode's pretty lazy though.
I don't know. I never had a problem with Electrode. He looks cool. He's smiling. I like him. I love the original Gen 1 designs. I need to buy Pokemon Green just so I can have these. These are... I love them so much. Look at this. Look at this. They're great. This one isn't that good. Where's Jonks, though? Let's see if we get her. We scroll up to her.
As
Or
for the
down.
sprites, what can we say about these? Especially the originals from Red and Green.
Where is she? Am I a fake Pokemon fan?
Unique.
There she is. There we go. Now this one looks even worse than the yellow one. Damn, bro. I feel like we need a cutout of her as well. But then Copa's gonna get covered up. Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, Gengar. Gengar looks funny too. Where is he? He's just like a dude. Bro's just chilling. Looks very goofy, but I love him. Very goofy. What's up, Jason? Jason, I didn't realize who you were last stream. I've seen one of your Ultima videos. Very good. Also, I didn't know you knew, what's his face? HPR Shredder. I saw your guys' channel earlier today. What a small world. I commented that on my other account. Very cool. What's up, dude? I just thought you were a random... I thought you're like one of the God of War goblins on my channel. Damn it, I need to plug in my computer. Yeah, what's up, dude? I was watching your AI retro thingamaboober earlier today. Very funny. I didn't realize there was that much of like that kind of channel out there.
Expressive. Nightmare fuel. I think Venusaur's back sprite got the worst of it.
This one does. I've always thought this looks like a wall, like just a wall of mess. You know. Here, 1 second. I gotta do something real quick. Wait, let's stop doing that one thing. He linked you the stream? That's interesting. Didn't you show up first, though? Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm pretty sure you showed up first, but that's cool. All right, back to doing something real quick. Okay, I think we're good. By the way, this is Copa, but now he's AI-ified. And there's a quote of him saying he loves streaming and AI, because he has definitely said that in the past. I hope he shows up so he can see this. Otherwise, I'm just going to send it to him. Yeah.
This is literally pixel salad. We take it for granted nowadays, but quality of life back in Gen 1 was in the toilet, hanging out with Muck. You want to cut down a tree? Open
This complaint is so petty. So petty. It takes 2 seconds to go to the Pokemon and select cut and then cut the thing. It's so quick. It is slower than just going up to it and pressing A, but it's a nothing issue.
your menu. Choose your
And I wish I put it on the bingo card, which I didn't.
Pokemon.
By the way, for those of you who just showed up, let's hide the bingo card for no particular reason for a couple seconds, and then put it back on screen. And then hide it again, and then put it back on screen. For no particular reason.
Select cut. And then you can continue. By the way,
the most disappointing thing since my son. What's his son name? Does he have a name? I don't remember that. Didn't he like run into a Wendy's or something, or drive into a Wendy's? I don't remember the lore.
no move deleter, so I hope you didn't teach cut to
Yeah, the move delete, no move deleter is a problem if you're an idiot and aren't playing alongside Gen 2 or considering Gen 2 when you're playing Gen 1, which you really should. They weren't designed to be played that way, but they're the best way to play it with Gen 2 assistance and stuff like that. So move deleter in Gen 2, bingo. There you go. There's your move deleter.
a Pokemon you actually want.
Though, if we're just isolating our worldview and looking at Gen 1, it is kind of a problem. Or
You.
rather, it can be, because Cut is a very bad move. Surf, Strength, good moves. Flash, not really. Fly, decent enough.
Or else they're stuck with it forever. Your bag could only hold 20 items, including key items.
Yeah, the bag is pretty bad. I don't like it. So, yeah, I agree. That's probably something another thing. That's probably another thing that I should have put on the bingo card, but I forgot, I think. Unless it's there and I just can't see it.
So you're constantly shut.
Wait a second. Should we cover games too easy? Because he did, like, complain about the AI and stuff. Of it being like, well, no, not really. I won't count that. That isn't specific enough, I don't think.
Shuffling over to the PC to deposit items, which has its own storage limit.
Yeah, the PC has a 50 item storage limit, which you're never gonna, like, that's never actually gonna be a problem unless you're duplicating items. Lucifer, what are you doing? What did I say? Stop it. I appreciate it, but stop it. You're wasting your money, but I appreciate it. Thank you. And now I feel obligated. I'm gonna have to set up the actual payment thing because I never got around to doing that. And I think I have enough money accumulated for them to be able to be like, here's your money. She's looking thick. What do you mean? She's not thick. She's just normal. That's just her. Completely normal. What does that have to do with anything, Lucifer? Anyways.
Can I go ahead and deposit this TM? Who knows? It doesn't tell you the move until you try to use it. So you need to individually boot.
Oh yeah, that is. It's like a slight complaint, kind of valid, but again, not really, because it takes 2 seconds to look at to boot up the TM and see what it is. Also, you can have like a list of them on standby to just look at them, but whatever. It's a minor thing.
Boot up each TM just to double check that it is indeed the Bide TM.
How do you not know that 34 is Bide, dude? Fake Pokemon fan alert.
You finally found that rare Pokemon you've been searching for. Congratulations.
The single worst thing about Gen 1 and 2 is the bag limitation. I never even experienced that one in Gen 2. Like, I've never reached the max, or I don't think. At least for the PC specifically, you know, where I can't deposit items anymore. When you're duping items in Gen 1 with the missing no glitch, it becomes a problem where you're like, damn, I don't know where to put these items now because there's no place to put them. But if you have Pokemon Stadium, the game comes with a secondary item box you can store in there, which is pretty useful. So, yeah.
Toss that Pokeball and whoops, your box is full. That's right, unlike modern Pokemon games where you have...
Wait, when you were younger, you didn't know there was a PC that you could store items in? I'm trying to remember if the game ever tells you can do that. I don't think so. Maybe your mom tells you. That's crazy.
Close to infinite storage space. If you're...
Hold on, what do you say? I ignored him.
For. Congratulations, toss that Pokeball and whoops, your box is full.
Yeah, the box being full. It is concerning. Yeah, it's a fair criticism. I'll give it to him.
That's right, unlike modern Pokemon games where you have close to infinite storage space. If you're currently...
I haven't played a modern Pokemon game and never, so I don't know if that's true. And I don't feel like looking it up.
PC box
but I feel like that's wrong.
Was full, you couldn't catch any more Pokemon until you walked your butt back to the Pokemon Center.
Also, I just realized I never addressed the super chat. And since there's a decent amount of people here, do you guys know I don't make content on this channel anymore? Have you guys noticed? I've been tweeting out for like the past like year that I'm still making videos and stuff, but they're not here. You think that's weird, guys? Anyways, completely unrelated note. I'm gonna post a link in the chat just because. Don't subscribe.
And sat through a bunch more menus to change your active box. And you walked.
Okay, I will. Okay, it is. I won't say it's a minor thing because it is super annoying dealing with not just the inventory system, but the box system for both items and Pokemon. It's not very good at all. It's really it's a pain.
No running shoes back then. How close am I to leveling up? Who knows? No XP bar. Better open up
Minor complaint.
that status screen, which also tells you basically nothing. What does this move do? What's its base power? Accuracy? Any special effects?
Fair complaint. Fair complaint. Absolutely fair complaint. I've always hated that they don't tell you the base power, the accuracy, or anything like that. Or a description of even what it is, which is a real problem when you're playing the game for the first time and you don't know what moves do at all. And they're like, hey, do you want to learn this move? Do you want to delete one of your other moves to learn it? And you're like, I don't know. It's a problem. I'll give them that. Let's like the video again. Never mind, because that unlikes it.
No idea, but at least I know it has this much PP. The difficulty curve was also completely out of whack.
Oh, does that what he means? Does he mean like the Pokemon Bank thing? Pokemon Home, whatever one it is? I think it's Home now. That doesn't count. That's weird. That's stupid. That does not count.
Did you pick Bulbasaur? Game's a cakewalk. Squirtle? Also pretty easy. Charmander? Pick
Also pretty easy because this game is giga easy, remember?
a god and pray. You're not getting past Brock. To be clear, I don't mind games presenting you with a challenge, but they also need to provide you with the...
1 second, chat. We'll be back momentarily. Just keep waiting. Just keep looking at Copa's bald head. I love being Copa and bald. Bald Copa. Bald.
tools to overcome that challenge. What are the weaknesses of Brock's team? Ground and fighting on the physical side.
Wait a minute. Do we have it here? We did. Brock's too hard. I wish I had a soundboard or something to play a sound when I get one right.
Water, grass, and ice on the special side. Let's take a quick look at the Pokemon you have access to before Brock. Charmander, Rattata, Pidgey, Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Caterpie, Weedle, and Pikachu.
I feel that's largely unnecessary.
Not a single one of these losers gets access to a single move that trumps Brock. Well,
1 second. This is stupid. 1 second. I wish I had clips. I would totally play that clip right now if I had the ability to. Jamie, can you play that real quick?
the Nidorans get the mediocre fighting move Double Kick. At level 43, your best bet.
Okay, let's let this Italian man finish. He's not Italian, I don't think.
Caterpie up to Butterfree, and then use Confusion. Butterfree is a bug flying type, which is quadruple weak to rock, by the way. I know that Brock doesn't actually have any rock type moves, but maybe the rock
Then why bring it up?
type gym leader should, huh? Let's talk about one of the biggest ongoing grifts in gaming.
Wait. Maybe it should. You're making the point that it's like too hard, and now you're saying it should be even harder? That makes literally no sense.
The versions. The two base games were nearly identical. The only differences were the available wild Pokemon. If you paid for the improved yellow version, you got yellow, and the rest of the colors too, along with some welcome balance changes, mostly buffs to enemy movesets, and a different storyline influenced by the anime.
Okay, you didn't mention the levels, but I'm not gonna pick not mentioning yellow's level changes. He mentioned enough.
At this point, selling two versions of essentially the same game was, I'll say it was a defensible gimmick. They wanted to encourage you to meet up and trade with friends who had different versions, and back in the era of physical link cables, you had to actually interact with people.
Well, really? That's insane. Shut up.
In person.
I hate when people do that.
Imagine that. So Gen 1 has some issues. Sure, critical hits are tied to speed when they shouldn't be, and
Crits are tied to speed. Dude, are we gonna get like 2 bingos in a row or something? Is that gonna happen? Or not in a row, but simultaneously? Oh, I was muted. Don't do that. I almost did something.
sure, high crit moves auto crit when they shouldn't.
They don't auto crit. I thought they did too. They don't. Okay, so Slash is one of those moves. Yesterday, I think I got on recording 2 times in a row. No crits from Slash. I've never seen that in Gen 1. But then again, I was using Parasect, so... Parasect? Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's a slow Pokemon, so that's probably why.
And sure, even 100% accurate moves can miss.
Okay, this kind of justifies the glitchy thing I selected earlier. He's basically doing that now.
Sure, status conditions don't interact.
Whoa, what happened? Oh, he's doing a joke. I
Popular
thought that
with
was me. I thought that was my computer dying.
stat boosts. And sure, Toxic is useless unless you combo it with Leech Seed, in which
Toxic is not useless, but okay.
case it becomes Super Corona. And sure, stat boosts have a bugged interaction with badge boosts.
4 years ago. Okay, it's common. That used to not be known, so I was about to say, oh, you mentioned something that we didn't know until pretty recently, but that was 4 years ago, so no.
And sure, frozen Pokemon are as good as dead. And sure,
I don't think I mentioned I don't think I put the frozen Pokemon in the tile set, so that's another one I should have done.
Get fully paralyzed during fly or dig, you can then attack while
Yeah, I that's a pretty cool glitch.
remaining invulnerable. And sure,
Does this guy even know what he's talking about? I mean, he is bringing up some good points, but it's just rehash stuff over and over and over again. You know, say something original. Oh, I forgot to tell Jason I saw his Pokemon video. Very good. It was short, but it was a really good video, and it made me laugh. He has a really funny bit where he's mentioning other games, and he mentions a whole bunch of games that start with or that end with Quest. Was it Spanky's Quest, something like that? That made me laugh. I never heard of that game, but it's a funny monkey game.
substitute causes the game to go completely haywire.
I didn't know about that. It's kind of cool.
But when you're playing through the game, for
Oh
the
no,
first
yes I did. Yes I did. I think it's just a visual glitch, right?
causes the game to go
Come on, what do you say about this?
And sure, stat boosts have a bugged interaction with badge boosts. And sure, frozen Pokemon are as good as dead. And sure, if you get fully paralyzed,
Just bring items. There really is no reason not to have a freeze heal or whatever it's called, because you're not unless you're playing competitive where you can't use it. But since we're not doing that, just bring a freeze heal or whatever it's called, a defrost. Is it old? I thought it was like. How old is it? Let's see. Copa. How old is that video? It was good. I enjoyed it. It was, I mean, it was short, but that's fine. You kind of combated some of the talking points in like a quick manner, which I thought was cool. 1 second, just looking up when it was released. 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago. So it's not that old. Well, actually, no, 3 years ago was decently old, which is kind of like how Copa's bald. I love that Copa's both of my screens. So stupid. Anyways.
during fly or dig, you can then attack while remaining invulnerable.
So yeah, all of these things are problems. They really don't matter to the base game. Just like a little bit. Just like a tiny little bit. So, again, it's just like, it's something that people mention in their videos, so I must also mention it again.
And sure, substitute causes the game to go completely haywire.
Okay, I don't remember how this glitch works. I think if you do a substitute and then look at one of your Pokemon stats and then come back here, it like gets glitched up. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. But it doesn't actually do anything other than visually fucking it up. And I think that happens because on the stat screen, it's actually like a flipped version of what you would see here. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So I think that's like, it like messes with the game somehow.
But when you're playing through the game for the first time, you don't really notice any of that.
Or the second, or the third, or arguably 10 years after doing so. Except with like a few exceptions. Like I've in my 10 plus years of playing Gen 1, I've only run into really one glitch that was game breaking, and that was when I was using the move Rage in Gen 1. In Gen 1, if you miss with Rage, the accuracy goes down to like basically you're never going to hit ever with this move. I was going up against Sabrina's Abra in Pokemon Yellow, and in that game, the Abra only knows Flash. That's the only thing it can do. So naturally, I missed the attack and was stuck into the Rage. I was like move locked into just using that move. And every time I would use the move, I wasn't running out of PP because you just used it the first time you press the move. So I was stuck in a loop where I couldn't get out of. And also in Gen 1, enemy AI, their Pokemon, they don't have PP. So I was stuck using Rage infinitely, never gonna hit, basically. And Sabrina was stuck using Flash infinitely, never going to run out and use Struggle. So I was stuck and had to restart the game. But that's literally, as Leafy would say. I was going to say something really bad there. The bad person Leafy. Liturgically, the only time I've run into a game-breaking glitch in Gen 1. The only time. Every other, like, that's basically it. The only other glitch that I can come up with or think about is the like you do dig and then you get stung, you get frozen by paralyzation, and then you're like immune, which happened to me in my last recording session. That's hilarious. Yeah, it wasn't very hilarious when it happened to me over 10 years ago because I hadn't saved in such a long time. So I had to redo a lot. But yeah, it was like the perfect conditions for failing. But that's basically it. That's the only game-breaking glitch I've ever run into in Gen 1. So yeah, glitch mania, overhyped as hell for Gen 1. What's up, Copa? Look at this, Copa. I got you. I got you saying you love AI as an AI version of you. Isn't that awesome? I love you, Copa. I've been waiting for the last 2 days to show you this image. I didn't even show Don yet because I didn't want him to send it to you. I wanted your live reaction of you AI. Yeah. Also, I like what it did to the painting in the background. It made it something else. Also, I like how it fixed the book also. Anyways, back to the Pokemon video. I pressed OBS instead of the actual video.
In this cool new game that everyone's talking about.
Okay, what do you say?
To go completely haywire. But when you're playing through the game for the first time...
I don't think he mentioned the special stat, right, chat? I don't think he did.
You don't really notice any of that.
Oh, wait, the book was... In the background was the book that you wrote? That's pretty cool.
You're just caught up in
By cool, I mean lame as hell. Nah, it's kidding. It's pretty cool.
Cool new game that...
Also, I missed what he said again because I was reading chat.
Substitute causes the game to go completely haywire. But when you're playing through the game for the first time, you don't really notice any of that. You're just caught up in this cool new game that...
He literally said nothing new. I'm an idiot.
Everyone's talking about. I want to do a quick comparison.
Yeah, I already responded to this.
Between Pokemon, which consumed my generation, and a newer collectible monster franchise you've maybe heard of, but probably haven't played, Yokai Watch.
How did he know? Writing is gay. I'm gonna... Oh, well... Very true, I guess. How did he know? He nailed it on the head. I've heard of this. Never played it. I didn't even know it was a monster collector, which is pretty funny. He did bring up special, but no, but did he bring up the special stat being one single stat? I don't think he did. He just mentioned... No, what did he mention in the Brock segment? I don't even remember. Alzheimer's is a hell of a drug.
Yokai Watch, as a video game, is...
Saki is a hack.
Way better than Pokemon. Don't at me, it's no contest.
No response, because I never played this thing.
The gameplay is far more involved. It's this mix of real-time and turn-based, and of your 6...
I feel like he's one of those people that thinks that real-time is this, like, objectively superior to turn-based, based on that little comment he made there. Maybe I'm wrong, but me no likey that attitude.
Yokai.
Turn-based is based. It's literally in the name.
3 are active, and 3 are ready to...
That's also a topic I'm going to bring up in the video. Explaining turn-based combat, because I don't think most people even really understand what it's supposed to be. And I think most people think it's literally, I take turn, then you take turn. Like it's chess. And that's why I think it's stupid and lame. But no.
Rotated in at any time.
It's epic. Also, speaking of stupid and lame, I'm going to send this stream link to my buddies as I did last time. Because memes showed up. And I want him to be here as well. Excuse me. Excuse me. You guys... It happened again. Edgy chat. Very edgy. Let's get out of there. Anyways. Did you guys like the stream? Because I didn't. Liking the stream makes you have a big penis. So you should do it. And if you're a girl that doesn't have a penis... Get out of here. Go grow one and then come back.
The dialogue between characters is witty and...
Oh yeah, turn-based movie. What video was that? Let me think. Oh yeah, that was the Avatar video. Oh yeah, you said it right there. I should have finished reading your comment, Copa.
well written, and because yokai,
Well written? Well written? It literally is just gibberish, dude. What are you talking about?
like Pokemon, can actually talk. They have
Hey,
personalities,
AC retweeted my tweet and he's not here. He could have read that for us.
and many have distinct side quests tied to them. So what's the issue? Why is Pokemon the largest media franchise in human history? Whereas if you ask someone if they've heard of Yokai Watch, they'll say, "Why do I need one? My phone already tells me the time."
Yo, I love Spy Kids. I haven't seen it in such a long time, though. I probably would hate it now.
It's because Pokemon is universal, and Yokai Watch is not. Sure, Generation 1 of Pokemon takes place in Kanto, which is technically a real place, but
No, not technically. It literally is. There's no technicalities needed, brother. It literally is a real place.
it's not as if the setting actually
Also, where can I get this high definition picture of this? I've looked for this. It's always like really shitty quality. So I'm gonna need to steal this.
relates to the gameplay. I'll bet you a random sum of money, let's say $15.99 USD, that were it not for Pokemon,
That's my response to whatever that was. I don't even know what happened, but that's my response. You lost your like.
you would have no idea that Kanto was a place on Earth filled with real Japanese people and also
Damn. You made it cringe. Damn, bruh. They packing heat. I love this. Japan is kind of based, actually.
small Pokemon YouTubers. Please subscribe.
Is this you? I think it is him. Here, just because you showed your face, let's. He earned the like again.
You want to see Kanto? Here, this is my balcony. This is
Is this a meme? What is this from? I feel like this is from something. What is that from? Please explain the joke. I know where that's from. That's from something. I don't remember where it's from. I think. Or maybe I'm just wrong. I'm a lead farmer.
Kanto.
Probably only airsoft. I mean, that's better than nothing, right? I'm not gonna back up. Whatever.
Subscribe. You want to see Kanto? Here, this is my balcony.
He does. Holy crap. That's so true. Zero fucks.
With real Japanese people
First, okay, whatever.
and also small Pokemon YouTubers.
Yeah, this is totally Asian Jack films. That's hilarious. That's so true, though.
YouTubers, please subscribe. You want to see Kanto? Here, this is my balcony. This is Kanto. See any Pokemon? Me neither. Unless there's a
Okay, where are we going with this? I thought he was making like a point here. He just said Pokemon's universal, and then he went on this like rambling journey adventure.
new laundry-based Pokemon, which would that even be that much
Why
of a
is he doxing himself? That's literally what he's doing. He's just doxing himself, and there's no joke.
stretch at this point? Yokai Watch takes place in Japan.
What are we doing? Well, hold on. What
Pokemon
point was
Earth.
made? Now okay. Let's back it up and let's listen to his whole argument from start to finish, and let's see if it actually makes any sense. Maybe it's us. Maybe we're the ones that are just not understanding his brilliance right now. So let's shut up. Let's look at Copa. Let's get inspired by Copa's beautiful face. Let's go back to this video. And let's listen to what he has to say and stop being so critical. Also, for no apparent reason, let's turn off the bingo real quick, and maybe this will help us not be distracted, right? Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's listen.
Can actually talk. They have personalities, and many have
Okay, we started playing out a wrong spot. Let's fast forward just a little bit, and let's hear his whole argument. Copa, shut up and listen to this man.
media franchise in human history. Whereas if you ask someone if they've
He is kind of flex. I know we're stopping, but he is kind of flexing on us.
heard of Yokai Watch, they'll say,
I like this one more than the one we roasted last week. Yeah, this one is significantly better. Just like both in terms of what he's saying, because it's significantly more coherent, and I can understand what he's saying except for like this part. But also, just like video wise, it's like better produced. Oh, you like that, Copa? I know you like that, you son of a bitch. You like looking at yourself. And then there's the real you down there. Also, I didn't notice this until last week. Did you have like some eye thing going on? Why is your eye and face like puffy? I never noticed that until last week. Were you okay? Tell us the lore, Copa.
"Why do I need one?
I'm guessing you weren't, which is why Don saved it.
My phone already tells."
But here you're powerful and beautiful. So it's all good.
tells me the time.
Okay, now for real, shut up and let's listen to what this man has to say.
It's because Pokemon is universal, and Yokai Watch is not. Sure, Generation 1 of Pokemon takes place in Kanto, which is technically a real place, but it's not as if the setting actually relates to the gameplay. I'll bet you a random sum of money, let's say $15.99 USD, that were it not for Pokemon, you would have no idea that Kanto was a place on Earth filled with real Japanese people
So
and
what?
also small Pokemon YouTubers. Please subscribe. You want to see Kanto?
No.
Here, this is my balcony. This is Kanto. See any Pokemon?
Yes.
Me neither. Unless there's a new laundry-based Pokemon, which would that even be that much of a stretch at this point? Yokai Watch takes place in Japan, which is based on the satellite states of the former Soviet Union. It's Japan. And if you...
No communism on this channel. How dare you? Okay, I looked over at my screen. I saw him show his face, so we're gonna like it again.
either are or were a Japanese kid, this game is fantastic. You get to see everyday places.
Wait, are you saying if I'm not Japanese, I can't read English?
Whole new light.
I love just saying stupid shit.
You start to wonder if maybe there are yokai out there hiding in your classroom or at the corner mart.
You can pretend Pokemon are real. You racist? You never seen a bird in real life? You never seen a real life pigeon and thought, yo, that's a Pidgeamon. That's a normal flying mon.
But chances are, you're not a Japanese kid.
Wow, assuming my gender. Keep flip-flopping on whether I like this video or not.
Most people aren't, so the game falls
Oh,
flat.
he brought up statistics. Okay, that's a like. Your shit back.
What Pokemon does best is sell you on the fantasy of being a Pokemon trainer striking out in your own adventure. If you've made it this...
I feel like this. I mean, I feel like there was he was like almost making a point there, where it's like Pokemon is a more universal experience. We can all kind of just like understand it, even if we're not from Japan, and the other game isn't. But I don't feel like he landed that point. I feel like he just like barely started to think about setting up the landing gear, and the next thing you know, we're on the ground. I was going to say something significantly worse than that, but I don't feel like making that joke.
far into the video, then I can guarantee that you've, at some point, imagined what the world would be like if Pokemon were real.
Okay, now you're like contradicting what your previous point though, right? Because his point was like you could like imagine the yokai being real because of how Japanesey the game is if you're Japanese and live in Japan. But now he's like saying you can have that same experience with Pokemon. So I don't really know what we're doing here.
You've probably planned out what your team would be.
Yeah, Misty looks really cool. I really like this character design. It's really cool.
How you dress, how
I'm actually super surprised ChatGPT actually popped out a Misty for me because I thought there's no way. Because usually it says like, this violates our content, whatever. If you put in like pre-established characters. Like I tried to describe Mario and it I just saw that Zero Fucks. Yeah, he kamikazed it. He didn't land. I've like described Mario and it's like, no, we know what you're doing. Italian plumber? No, we're not generating that. But here I just like literally put in an image of Misty and was like, hey, can you remake this? And it's like, yes, sir, right away, sir. And it did.
throw your Pokeballs.
I love when ChatGPT has fuck it days. Yeah, like, it's weird. It's really weird.
Go to any online message board and you'll see oodles of Pokemon trainer avatars, often with varying degrees of clothing.
Thank you for not getting the stream demonetized. Even though, actually, no, we do have ads, so yeah, it is monetized. Monetizing.
The point is that Pokemon appeals to everyone. Anyone can become a Pokemon master. And I mean anyone. These games are really easy.
He did the thing. He did the thing, chat. I mean, he didn't say too easy, but we're counting that. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna... Wait, did he mention psychic types are broken? Did he mention that? I don't think he did. I don't remember. Whatever. I don't think we're getting a bingo off this video, guys.
One was the one that started it all.
Just use another AI service. Are the other ones free? Are not gonna like geolocate me and kill me? I don't think so.
And if nothing else, its faults were the result of its ambition.
DM me that Misty. What's your Twitter? You DM me and then I'll get back to you. How about that? How about that? You like that? You like them apples? You like apples? I got a number. How about them apples? Movie.
Gen 1 is also unique in that it has taken on a completely new
No bingo.
life because it's a hilarious bug-riddled mess. Just look at the
No comment.
chaos you can cause in the original green version just by pressing B to exit a menu.
I feel okay. I've never tried any of these kind of glitches. I feel like what he said right now is inaccurate. I feel like that's not the only thing you need to do, and there's other setup that you need to do beforehand, and then to execute the glitch, then you press B, but not just do that. That's how I feel about this situation.
But hey, at least Gen 1 was better than Sword and Shield, right?
I haven't played those. I actually had a terrifying vision of the future where Sword and Shield cost $100, and I thought I'm gonna get my copies before that happens because I don't want to live in that future. But it's coming because there's a bunch of idiots online that keep saying that anything Pokemon will only appreciate in value. So now everybody believes that, and now they memed it into existence, and I hate it. The prices are never going down, guys. Just buy them now if you're ever going to buy them.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching.
Yo, he showed his face again? Oh, I already liked it, never mind.
This is imported cheese. Just adding.
I don't know, like this video, it doesn't, I don't feel like he said anything that hasn't been said already, so why make the video? Right? Like he didn't really add anything. It's not a bad video per se. It's a lot more enjoyable than the last one, like Jason was saying, but was it necessary? I don't feel like he really mentioned anything new other than the Mimic thing, which is I don't hear people say that ever, so that's pretty cool. The 3DS games are still cheap. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I did look that up as well, and they were still pretty cheap. The only reason why I thought they weren't before is because a long time ago I did a video on like this one. I mean, I did a video on eBay sellers, and one of the guys I saw was selling them for like $50. So I just in my mind I thought everybody was doing that, but no, it's just that one guy. But yeah, chat, how would you rate this video? I'm thinking like a solid 6 because it was well made. It's short. It doesn't waste my time, but it says like literally nothing original other than like the one or two things. You know? Here, let's look at Copa. I'll let you look at Copa while you think of your answer. Just to, help the creative juices in your minds. Do I think the price has peaked? Maybe. Maybe for Gen 1. I don't think people are willing to pay more than $50 generally for Gen 1 things. Because they've stayed around like about like 50 for the last like 2 or 3 years now. I don't think they're going much higher than that. Actually, no, they will go up. You know when? They're going to go up next year because it's going to be the 30th anniversary. So yes, they are going to go up. All of them are going to go up a little bit. So yeah. That's going to suck. Hopefully, though, they go back down like they did in 2016. Actually, I could do that. Oh, no, I can't. I'm on the wrong computer. No, what's the website called? I'm going to show you guys. Can I do that? Yeah, let's do it here. Wait, hold on. Did Carl send me a message? I opened up Discord just for him. No, he didn't. Sick. Okay, no, he didn't. Sick. Awesome. Epic. What's it called? Price charts? Pokemon Blue? Because a lot of people will say the Pokemon games, paraphernalia, anything will only appreciate in value, so buy it now. That's historically untrue. Here, let's stay on Copa. Let's do this. Capture window. Yes. I'm not doxing myself. Yes. Wait, should I do that? Can I do this? Oh, wait, can I do this? I can. Not that it matters, but that's cool. And then if I hit OK, then you see it? I think that's how that works, unless you could see it the whole time, then whatever. But yeah, as you can see here... Oh, no, you could see it the whole time, whatever. Doesn't matter. There's nothing other than my Discord. No, don't do that. How do I zoom in? I guess you do that. As you can see here, 2016, it peaked to $43. Previously, it was 21. Peaked, and then it went down. Eventually, it went down below what it was before. So, that was in 2016 for the 20th anniversary. Wait, what the fuck? 35? No, I'm pretty sure it's way higher than that normally. Wait, no. Wait, what? We're in the wrong year? Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there we go. That makes a lot more sense. There we go. We weren't looking at the whole timeline. I thought, whoa, it went down to 31. That's great. But no, it's at 60. Yeah, I made my video like around here-ish. When it was about like here. So yeah, it's just going up. Just gradually going up, sadly. Sadly. Anyways, let's go back to the video. Yeah, chat, what are we rating this? Yeah, 6 as well. Yeah, 6. Yeah, we got it right. It's 6. 30 years, another Gen 1 remake. You know what? I wouldn't mind another Gen 1 remake if they do the thing that they should have done a long time ago now. Have the post game for this Gen 1 remake just be an early version of Johto. Like primitive Johto, like, you know? Just do that for the post game. But they won't do it. And if they did do it, it'd probably be lame anyways. But yeah, if they did that, I wouldn't mind another Gen 1 remake, to be completely honest. But no, we're probably not gonna get that. We're gonna get the Gen 1 games for the Switch Online subscription shit. And we're not gonna be able to buy it and actually own it. Which is epic. And by epic I mean cringe and terrible. Yeah, dude, I wish we could get black for 60. I know. It's like almost 200, I think. Or no, it's more. Black and white 2, I think it's more than 200. Or about that. Gen 1 remakes but don't fix any of the problems. See, there you go. Promote this, man. That would be hilarious. But they're not that funny. Bring back the Sevii Island. Yeah, there you go. That's another thing they could do. Because that wasn't in the Let's Go games. I don't think. Yeah, do that. Make Johto also part of the post game. Don't limit... Like, I got scared again because of the ad. Don't limit... excuse me. What's-a-fuck? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, don't limit the game to just Gen 1 Pokemon. Just have all of them there, or as many as you can, or as many as you're willing to. You know? Like, let me catch Gen 2 Pokemon on Route 4. Shit like that. But they won't. You know what would be cool for the 30th anniversary if they, like, re-released, like, on an actual physical game cart, Gen 1 and Gen 2 remakes, kind of like they released the Castlevania games. Because they can release DS games on Switch pretty easily now. Like, they figured out how to do it and make it work, even if they had like the 2-screen system. I got Black 2 for $40 signs. That's pretty cool. $40 signs is a pretty good price. When was that? I got a Japanese version of Black for $10, and the only reason why I bought it is because it was $10. I'm like, okay, I might as well, you know. But I don't speak Japanese, and I've never played the original games in English, so I don't know. I don't know what anybody's saying, and I kind of don't want to play a game when I don't know what they're saying anymore. You know, I'm not a child anymore. The day it came out. Okay, there you go.
Some filler
Yeah,
talk.
we don't need to. Okay, it's a 6, solid 6, you know. We didn't get a bingo. Right? He didn't mention Mew Glitch. He didn't mention Rap, I don't think. I don't think he mentioned the special stat being one stat. I don't remember that. He didn't mention Zubat, I don't think. He did mention the move pools, though. He did definitely mention move pools being ass. I'm surprised we missed that. He didn't complain about changes or limitations and choices. Yeah. He didn't really mention anything that would warrant him needing to consider trading. I don't think he complained about wild encounters either. So yeah. He did complain about HMs though. I don't think he called it overrated. So yeah, no bingo for us on this video. Sad. But true. So anyways, let's go to this video. This other video. Now we're starting kind of in the middle. Actually, let me open up my notes that I had so I can see exactly where I left off. I should have done this last week. Oh, I don't think you can see the bingo anymore. I messed up. Wait, can you? No, the bingo's gone. Bingo back. This video, let's start it around... Okay, let's start around minute 13. Oh, I can't see. I can't see! I can't see because my screen's so small. I actually should zoom in. Around minute 13, around there. So I should have done this last week with the other video. This one I was watching on my own, and I stopped when I started noticing I was taking more and more notes to watch it live because he actually started saying stuff here. So I did. Here, let's go to the bingo. I did start doing bingo. Oh, how do I do it on this laptop? How do I do that? 1 second. 1 second. We need Copa. We need Copa to cover our ass while we figure this out. We do this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Copa. I already started doing... No, there we go. I already started the bingo. I already have it written down, the stuff that he mentioned. We're one away from bingo, but I don't think he's going to complain about Pikachu. But yeah. Here we go. I'll repost it. I don't think anybody wants to play. But in case you do, there's your bingo card. You can play along. It gives you a different one than I have. And whatnot. So there you go. Here, I'm going to turn on my light because I'm in a dark room right now. I love streaming. I love AI. Speaking of streaming, actually has nothing to do with streaming. I recorded a video yesterday, and I was thinking last night, oh yeah, I'm gonna record it tomorrow or edit it tomorrow and then stream. I forgot about that until like one in the afternoon today. So I like barely edited it at all. But maybe he'll talk about trading. I'm not even looking at my bingo. Maybe he will say something. There you go. See? This is why we have chat here. See, Copa worked. His magical baldness gave us the brain juices so he could notice that. Thank you, Copa.
Hours.
Also, hold on. Motherfucker was crying and whining at me that I didn't tag a billion people last week in my post saying that I was streaming, and he's not even here. Where's Donnie? He ain't here. He didn't even see it. Whatever. I'm not gonna send it to him. That's cringe. Let's let him not be here on his own accord.
First two gyms will either be a total cakewalk or the hardest challenge in
Okay, we should back up a little bit because that sounded important.
Practically invalidate all but one or two options.
Yeah, this video is by this guy. Yeah.
When you consider that the game's second gym is water type themed, weak to grass and strong against fire, the disparity in the Bulbasaur and Charmander experience is ridiculous. I acknowledge the game
I would say it's a fair thing to say that Brock is definitely too hard for Charmander users. However, though, by the time you get to Misty, that's basically on you because you can get Oh, can I show that? No, I don't. I don't have it on the computer. Damn it. Yeah, I can't show it. I have a video that I recorded for my review of me annihilating Misty with a Paris. Completely annihilating her Starmie. Never considered using Paris before, but it's the perfect typing, you know? Grass Bug against Water Psychic. Perfect counter for Misty's Starmie. So yeah, if you're struggling on Misty, not that it's only your fault, but if you're struggling because you picked Charmander, it's basically your fault because you had plenty of opportunity to catch a different Pokemon at that point. In Blue, you get I don't remember if you get Paris in Red, but you can get Paris in the cave beforehand, and you can also get Bellsprout up towards Nugget Bridge. So you have choices to counter Misty.
Needs to throw your starter into unfavorable situations.
Brock is too hard for Pikachu users. Yeah, I haven't played Pokemon Yellow in such a long time, but I'm gonna play it for my video. I'm interested how hard that's gonna be, because what I'm gonna do for that playthrough, I already picked my team out, but I didn't realize I couldn't get a Beedrill in actually Yellow, so I'm gonna have to trade one in or trade a Weedle, and I'm also gonna start off with a Ditto alongside my Pikachu, so I'm gonna have 3 Pokemon at the start of the game. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to beat Brock with just those 3, or if I'm gonna have to do something else. So that'll be interesting. I'm also I don't remember if this guy said it. No, I think it was the last week guy who said it. I don't think we saw that on stream actually. He said that if you don't pick Squirtle, specifically if you don't pick Squirtle, then Brock is extremely difficult. He includes picking Bulbasaur in the it's basically impossible category, which is really interesting. So I'm going to start off my Red playthrough with just Bulbasaur, and I'm not going to grind. I'm going to see how much water his claims hold. How much water his claims hold? That sounds weird, but you know what I mean.
Points to teach you about type matchups and incentivize a well-rounded team. But this design choice really sours the opening hours. The first 2 gyms will either be a total cakewalk, or the hardest challenge in the entire game, based essentially on a coin flip. By choosing
coin flip that you choose, like nah, I disagree. Completely disagree. The first time I played Pokemon, I did get stuck on Misty, but that's because I didn't have a Pikachu because I didn't know where it was. And I had I don't remember what my team was, but it wasn't good against water. But that was my fault for not knowing stuff better.
Charmander.
I think I picked Charmander back in the day, yeah, because I remember that's when they gave him I played the Gen 1 remakes before actually Gen 1. And at that point he had what is it, Iron Claw or Steel Claw? I love Copa. Do you actually love Copa, Mr. R. Hiltz Hurt? Look at this Copa right here. Look at this beautiful bastard. Absorb his juices and his muck-based ointments.
Players are essentially selecting hard mode. I'm all for difficulty options, but players ought to at least know what they're signing themselves up for. The gyms are much more reasonable after the first few, simply
Wait, I wasn't reading chat. What is chat saying? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
because the player has more options available to them. By the time a player challenges Blaine's late-game Fire Gym, it's a pretty safe assumption that they will have added one of the many Water-type Pokemon to their team.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. What?
All for difficulty options, but players ought to at least know what they're signing themselves up for.
Yeah, Donna, I was going to send this to you, but I thought, no, I want Copa to see it on my stream first, and then I'll send it to him. I love Copa. Oh, also, actually, no, it doesn't matter.
The gyms are much more reasonable after the first few, simply because the player has more options available to them. By the time a player...
Again, but then, I already said this, but that includes Misty, because you can get a decent amount of counters for her.
Challenges Blaine...
Though she is a little harder than what you might be expecting, if you don't know what's going on.
late game Fire Gym, It's a pretty safe assumption that they will have added one of the many water-type
Yeah, Blaine is a joke. He's really bad.
Pokemon to their team. No single option is forced, but many options are offered. Allowing players to craft their team according to which creatures strike their fancy is the ideal, instead of railroading them in a certain direction. Before long, the opposite problem arises. The gym challenges
What's the opposite problem? There's too many options?
cease to be
Too
a
much freedom?
challenge. Strategy devolves into just using your highest base power super effective move repeatedly until the enemy goes down.
Fair. This is a problem with Gen 1, and arguably all of Pokemon. They never really got past this. There's like little incentive. Well, that's not exactly true. But generally speaking, there is little incentive to not just hit the big damage button every single time. Because of how these games are designed, you're usually going to either one-shot them or two-shot them. Which is sad. Unless you're using a terrible team on purpose, like what I'm doing for my videos, or my video, singular. My playthroughs is what I meant to say.
PC subpar AI and the gym leader's insistence on monotype teams offers non-existent counter.
They're not monotype teams, though. I mean, there is only two dual-type fire types, but one's a starter and another one's a legendary, so that's like whatever. There is no dual-type psychics. Brock has dual types. Misty has water psychic type in our team, so that's not mono. I know what he meant to say. He meant to say like they're all like one type, but they're not monotypes. He misspoke, and I will call him out for it because I'm a petty bitch.
Play to this brain-dead approach. If you have a super effective option, you win. If not, you either need to get one or grind levels until you can overcome by brute force.
No, wrong, big wrong. Oh, if you don't have one, then the game's a little more interesting. You gotta try harder. You gotta use the different moves at your disposal. If the solution to the problem that you pick is just have bigger number, the problem beat you. You couldn't overcome it. You had to just have big number. Big number bigger than small number. Me win. That's caveman stuff. Don't do that. It makes you're doing yourself a huge disservice if that's how you play these games. If for whatever reason you don't have like a super effective option for whatever reason, and you're like, okay, I can't one-shot this thing, or I can't easily one-shot this thing, or whatever. Or not, what am I saying? Easily. I can't just hit it. I can't just kill it in one punch. So instead of like using strategy and whatnot, I'm just gonna grind. Big L the Rapper. What's your favorite Pokemon? Technically Alakazam, but I do like Kadabra more in terms of looks. But, Alakazam's just a stronger Kadabra, so I had to say Alakazam. I really like how he looks in Stadium 1. How he looks in Stadium 1. He's kind of like sitting there. I like it. Very cool. Now he like jumps up and does a little spin in the air when he attacks. Very cool. Full of character. Love him.
This is a non-issue for young newbies, but I personally can't help feeling disappointed that the game...
Yeah, learning the type matchups. Yeah, it's part of the game. Dude, I remember when I first played these games, even though I was like playing along a Let's Play, I still remember being caught off by the dragon type at the end, because I didn't have any ice types. No ice type attacks. So it's like, oh. And at that point, all I was doing was pressing the big damage number. And I didn't have no big damage number at that point. So I failed.
The game never asks the player to think and form new strategies. Too often, the
Except it kind of does if you're playing it subparly.
game's biggest battles leave me profoundly underwhelmed at their simplicity. The way types interact in Pokemon and similar RPGs is often compared to rock, paper, scissors, something I'm guilty of earlier in this.
1 second, chat. 1 second, let's go back to Copa. No, the fuck, I pressed the wrong buttons. Let's go back to Copa. 1 second. Luckily, he has timestamps, so we're back.
The way types interact in Pokemon and similar RPGs is often compared to rock, paper, scissors, something I'm guilty of earlier in this very video.
I probably should have put that in the bingo card.
It's a shorthand way to indicate the concept of intransitivity such that everyone understands without getting too technical. It's tricky to explain the idea that A beating B and B beating C doesn't necessarily imply that A beats C, but when you picture rock, paper, scissors, you instantly understand what I mean.
Yes, it is a quick way of conveying the message, and it is a good one. I don't think people should stop using it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to this, because you just don't need it.
Unfortunately, with 15 types, the interactions become much messier. One
Messier, more interesting, potato, wrong, you know?
glance at the full matchup spread, and suddenly the comparison loses weight.
You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tell my lady that I was streaming, because I didn't tell her last week, and she was like, oh. So let's do that. Not that she would watch, because she doesn't love me. I'm kidding. She doesn't speak a lot of English or know much about games, so. So, you know. This guy sucks, too. I mean, I think it's significantly better than the first guy from last week. So we'll see.
Even still,
What was he saying? I don't remember. My
that
brain's
A
dumb.
beating B and B beating C doesn't necessarily imply that A beats C, but when you picture rock, paper, scissors, you instantly understand what I mean. Unfortunately, with 15 types, the interactions become much messier. One glance at the full matchup spread, and suddenly the comparison loses weight.
Comparison loses weight? No. The point of the comparison is just to say like X beats Y, Y beats A beats X. Like that's true. I mean, on a grander scale, obviously, like you said, but I would not say the comparison loses weight just because there's more complexity here than just rock, paper, scissors. But okay.
Even still, each type has a set of strengths as well as weaknesses, so
Yeah, wait, why are you saying that? Literally saying it's a rock, paper, scissors system implies that already. Don't say it again.
it should remain fair, right? While
No.
on paper this is true,
What do you say, Jason? In your video, it's like, oh, you don't remember because it was 3 years ago, but you said something like, you know what also isn't balanced? Final Fantasy. And then you said a whole bunch of games. That was funny.
in practice it couldn't be further from the truth. In Generation 1, the Psychic type in particular is
I think we already marked it on the bingo card, but let's look over on our bingo cards. Yeah, there it is. Psychic types are broken. I already have that in the notes, right? What time is this? 15 something? Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, I do need to write it down. I just wrote down the response. 15:12. You guys can't see the notes this time because it was kind of lame and too much like Patrician TV's stream, so. Psychic types, not times, are broken. I'm going to juxtapose what he's saying and other people say about psychic types here with me beating a whole bunch of psychic types very easily in my playthroughs. Because yesterday I was playing Koga's gym. Even though it's a poison gym, there's a lot of people there that have like Kadabras and Drowsies. It was super easy. I don't remember if I was using my Paris or my Parasect, but it was like pretty easy. So yeah,
laughably overpowered to the point where it completely dominates.
laughably overpowered. Again, this is not true. It's just not true. I don't think. It's more of a competitive thing. In the games themselves, I mean, your rival does have a Kadabra, and that does get scary, but only after like the third encounter when he has the Kadabra. He might actually have an Alakazam at that point. Because he still has teleport, so he can sometimes just use teleport instead of confusion. So then nothing happens, you know?
Game.
It's true, Mewtwo is super OP. That is true. Mewtwo is undoubtedly the super OP Pokemon of Gen 1.
For starters,
But also, you can actually beat him pretty easily in the wild. The stadium one though, the one you battle in stadium, that one you can also beat pretty easily if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it can be very difficult.
the only type that resists psychic moves is other psychic types. That's right, every single other Pokemon takes at least neutral damage, if not super effective damage.
I actually forgot about this, but it's true. I thought Bug resisted it, but no, it's just super effective. So that's like an interesting tidbit to keep in mind, but I don't think it's that relevant because psychic types aren't like rampant through Gen 1. There's just a few of them throughout.
On the other side of the coin, per the official Nintendo matchup chart, psychic types are weak
Why do you say Nintendo? It's Game Freak. Maybe this is a Nintendo Power, I don't know.
to Bug and Ghost, meaning they take double damage from moves of those types. This is ultimately inconsequential, as there are essentially no strong Bug or Ghost type moves in
I'm also going to take him saying this is essentially inconsequential and show me like annihilating Starmie with my Paris with Leech Life. Could you guys ever conceive that using Paris with Leech Life could be viable in the game? It can, and it's surprising, but it can be.
existence, and very few formidable Pokemon that carry those types. Outside of a high roll Pin Missile, the strongest Bug type move in existence is Twin Needle, with an effective 50 base power spread between 2 hits. Not particularly scary, especially when you consider the move is exclusive to Beedrill, who packs pitiful stats and is itself weak to Psychic, courtesy of its secondary poison typing.
I'm also going to play that clip and then cut to me destroying a motherfucker with my Beedrill. And if I don't if I can't do it in my playthroughs that I'm doing now specifically for the review, I'm going to use a clip of my old Let's Play on this channel from about 3 years ago where I do that. Where I get 5 KOs with my Beedrill on the Elite Four.
You
really can use like any Pokemon in these games and still do good. If you know what you're doing. If you play smart.
damaging Ghost type move in the
And it's the most fun.
game is Lick, with a pitiful 20 base power, and the only Ghost type Pokemon belong to the Gengar line, which is yet again itself weak to Psychic moves due to a poison subtype. To add insult to injury, Nintendo's official type matchup chart is factually incorrect. Courtesy of a programming error, there are quite a few of those, the Psychic type is actually immune to Ghost types, instead of being weak to them as intended. Compare Psychic
Yeah, that is pretty wild. Although it is pretty inconsequential because again, there's just the one attack.
Psychic's sole Bug type weakness to the Grass type's laundry list of weaknesses: Fire, Ice, Poison, Flying, and for what it's worth, Bug.
I mean, yeah, he's trying to be thorough, which is fine. Excuse me. I think it's fine to be thorough. I'm gonna be super thorough about what I'm doing here. Let's I don't think you know who I am, Jason, but I'm gonna show you who I am with one video. Actually, no, that's not indicative of what I usually do. But I am gonna do the same thing for this Pokemon video. I think I showed this last week actually, but maybe you didn't see. I can be very I can be very thorough with the stuff I make if I want to. And I'm gonna do something similar to this for Pokemon. It's probably not gonna be 4 hours though, but it's gonna be. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing like 2. But I hope it's not longer. That'd be crazy. But anyways, back to Copa and his beautiful baldness. Oh yeah, for something that barely affects the game. Yeah. I get wanting... I don't know what's going on with me. I get wanting to be thorough. No, yeah, that's a decent point actually. If it doesn't really affect the game. But again, that's the thing. Most people, this is one of the things I'm going to mention in my video. Most people look at the stats, look at the numbers behind the bug move attacks and look at behind like the move sets for those bug type Pokemon, and they just assume how it's going to play out, and they don't actually play with bug types, which is fine. Well, it's understandable because there's a whole bunch of Pokemon in Gen 1. You can only play with so many of them. And you just have to like assume stuff about the other ones you don't play with. I did the math. I think it's like 26 playthroughs you would have to do to play with each Pokemon, not counting like their like evolutionary line. Like just counting that as 1 instead of like 3 or 2 or whatever. You would still have to do like 26 playthroughs of Gen 1. So I get why, like, you're going to have some blind spots with specific Pokemon or even types when it comes to that stuff. But it is really interesting that, as a consequence, everybody complains about bug types. Seemingly rightfully so, because the numbers indicate that it would suck. They're not nearly as bad as people make them out to be. Like, again, like I mentioned before, a couple years ago I did a playthrough. Used Beedrill in the Elite Four. He got 4 KOs pretty easily. Like I wasn't even like fishing for him to get those 4 KOs. I just gave him Swords Dance and used him when it was like appropriate, and he did work. Destroying Starmie with Paris. I never would have thought that was possible. Like never even would have considered it. It's like a stupid bug, you know. But like even the game, even some of the NPCs in the game say like, yeah, bug Pokemon are stupid. Which makes sense because that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be like an early mon that's easy to raise, but you know, their usefulness falls off in the mid game. But even now, like here, where's my game? Let's turn it on and see what my levels are at. I think my Parasect is like level like 30 something. Here, let's hold up to the mic so you can hear the music. Oh, it didn't work. There we go. Playing on an actual game. Like right now on my team, I think my Parasect is like my not strongest, but like surprisingly one of the best Pokemon on my team. Yeah, it's level 38. Sorry, I had to do something real quick. I forgot to put up Copa. So yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, bugs are more useful than they would appear to be, given the numbers. And nobody knows about it because nobody actually plays with bugs. Which isn't entirely their fault because there's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 1. But as a consequence, these kind of rants pop up in most Pokemon videos.
Psychic's dominance doesn't end there. Types fall into 2 categories, physical and special.
That's another thing. I know like 2 seconds we're pausing again. That's another thing. Psychics are really weak to physical moves. Bugs are gay. Very true, Zero Fucks. I love Psychics are really weak to physical moves. Like other than Mewtwo, you can punch them in the face really easily and they're dead. So that's something that like Not that nobody brings up, but nobody really considers when going on this rant about how psychics are so dominant in Gen 1. Just punch them real hard and they're down. And it's not even that. You don't even have to punch them that hard.
Physical moves use the attack and defense stats to calculate damage, while special moves just use the special stat. This stat is a 2-for-1 deal. A high special stat means a Pokemon can fire off high damage special attacks.
Yeah, I already put it on the bingo card, but yeah, the special stat. Yeah, this would qualify as that. Bugs are gay.
And just as easily tank incoming special attacks. Clearly, Pokemon that favor the special side here have an advantage.
Yeah, Amnesia Gen 1 is really good because it boosts both defense and attack technically.
And you guessed it, Pokemon with the Psychic typing overwhelmingly sport massive.
You love the accent? Thank you. I don't even think it wasn't even like my normal Indian accent. It was just like, I don't know, brain damage accent.
Special stats. Even with all these baked in advantages,
Mega Drain, not as good. Why is he up? Well, nah, that's an okay move, I guess.
a type is only as good as its Pokemon. It's possible that this type dominance remains purely theoretical, if there were a dearth of viable Psychic types.
Wait, what is it?
The Pokemon that favor the special side here have an advantage,
Yeah.
and you guessed it, Pokemon with the Psychic typing overwhelmingly sport massive special stats.
Yeah.
Even with all these baked in advantages, a type is only as good as its Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's possible that this type dominance remains purely theoretical.
Oh, he's saying it's just on paper, which is ironic because what he said about the bug type is mostly just on paper, actually. Because in execution, you can actually use them up until the end game.
If there were a dearth of viable Psychic types. Nope, there are more overpowered Psychic types than you could possibly fit on a team. Alakazam, Executor, Starmie.
Okay, you said overpowered. Again, very susceptible to physical damage, but it is probably the best non-legendary in Gen 1. He's also the coolest, so it's a good pick. I haven't used this guy in a while, so I don't remember. I don't think he's very good. Generally speaking, I'm trying to remember. He was kind of I remember him being like a pain to level up. But he does have good stats. Starmie, on the other hand, Starmie is really good. I wouldn't say he's overpowered, though. He is pretty weak physically, so you can punch him. He doesn't have a lot of health either, I don't think. So you can hit him pretty hard, and he goes down fairly easily. But he does hit hard in the other direction as well. What? He also hits hard. He's a hard-hitting Pokemon.
Slowbro, Jinx.
Okay, bruh. How dare you use this Jinx when we know that the true Jinx is this one. How dare you use any other Jinx other than that one? I don't want to defend the OG Jinx design. However, I will say that Gen 2's American designs fit way better with the skin color change because the dress wasn't red, it was like a magenta-ish. It fit way better with the change for the skin. I don't like this. This doesn't jive well. I unfortunately have to say that this one just kind of looks better. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Oh, that's another thing. I had heard a long time ago what Jinx was based off of, but I couldn't remember what it was. I looked it up. It's like a late 90s or mid to late 90s, early 2000 Japanese fashion thing. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like the Japanese version of bimbos. So definitely not what it appeared to be to our American eyes. You can't really blame anybody for thinking that, but it definitely was not trying to be that. There's bumbos, you know. There's dumb looking women. I don't know. How do you know that? Yes, it is that. I think it's like a sub thing from that you mentioned there. But yeah. I'm debating on whether or not to mention any of that in the Gen 1 review. Because on the one hand, I don't really want like anybody to like have a clip where it kind of sort of seems like I'm defending what this looks like. But on the other hand, it kind of looks based, you know? Anyways.
Take your pick. And that's not even considered.
I'm also going to be using Mr. Mime for one of my playthroughs. Never used him. But I would not say that Hypno is overpowered. He's kind of on the weaker side of things, psychically, especially. I'm pressing Discord. I'm pressing OBS.
Mew and Mewtwo. Each of these
Mew and Mewtwo are pretty good. Mew has 100 base stat in every stat. And that's really good. And he can learn any TM or HM. So he's really good. And Mewtwo's Mewtwo.
Pokemon have extensive move pools.
However, wait, why did he meant? Wait, hold on. That made sense on paper.
Not even considering Mew and Mew.
But in practice, you're never gonna find a Mew that you're gonna fight other than the two you can glitch in. But those are like level 7s. So they're not gonna be, you know? Anyways.
Mewtwo. Each of these Pokemon have extensive move pools, including access to the extremely solid 90 base power move Psychic, which obviously carries the Psychic type.
Yep.
With so many things working in Psychic's favor, at a certain point Game Freak loses plausible deniability. Like, how could they not notice this extreme disparity? This admittedly has limited effect on the in-game battles. The challenge never ramps up enough.
Wish I had a soundboard. What did he just say?
This admittedly has limited effect on the in-game battles.
And what is this video about? Is this about competitive Pokemon? No, it's about the single player. Okay, so that was kind of useless.
The challenge never ramps up enough to
I think it's fine to make a video that's specifically dedicated to just competitive. But when that's not the video, it's kind of like, oh, okay. You just kind of took us on this journey for no reason.
An optimized team. However, balance issues like this have significant deleterious ramifications on PvP battles, both in a casual and competitive environment.
I would say I don't know if I would agree with the casual thing. With the PvP, definitely, because that means that Psychic's going to be a lot more prominent. But with the casual thing, again, you can go up against your friend even without an Alakazam of your own, and he has one. You can still beat him. I don't know. It is pretty funny that he went on the whole diatribe, and he's like, ultimately, though, it doesn't really matter.
Rock, paper,
I think this is where I stopped watching the video. Yeah, right here. So everything after this is new for me. So we're in for a good time or a bad time. I don't know.
Scissors loses its appeal when your opponent packs an unbeatable gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Ooh, I should play with John. You guys don't know my buddy John, but he's really bad at Pokemon. I have a video of him. We're playing Stadium 2, and he didn't know that Sudowoodo, the Pokemon that looks like a tree and his name literally means fake tree or fake wood, he thought it really was a grass type. So he hits me with fire. And then I beat him. And he's like, wait, why was that not super effective? Very, very funny video. I think I made that in a short, and it did pretty well. Here, let's look at it. Let's watch that on stream together, because it's a beautiful moment of John not knowing what he's doing. Wait, is Patrician streaming right now? He is streaming. Should we stream snipe this man? No, let's not do that. That's kind of cringe. Not that he would ever realize that. It'd be funnier if we knew each other. Like, if AC was streaming right now, I would definitely stream snipe him. As a joke. Sort by most popular. No. Oh, there it is. No. Mute. All right, let's watch this. I gotta zoom and then do that. Here, let's just focus more on the game than actually. Nope, don't do
Freya
that.
hasn't been checking
No,
on
shut
you?
up. Shut up, Freya. I hate trying to look at stupid shorts on. I pressed the wrong button and muted myself. They always break. I just wanna watch the thing. This sucks. Whatever. We're watching it like this. We can kind of see most of it. No, we can't even. Okay. Let's zoom in more and try to do this. There we go. So you can at least look at the game.
Thrower. It's not very effective.
Why is it not very effective? You're wood.
John,
Okay, but it's a stick. Why is fire not effective?
John, you fell for the pseudo-wudo trap.
I don't know what that means. You guys are nerds.
Neither do I. It's a stick. Why was it not weak to fire?
Oh yeah, this let's mute this part, I guess. I don't think the music would matter, but yeah. And you can't see the textures are zoomed in cuz it's stupid. But yeah. John didn't know pseudo-wudo was a not a he thought it was a real trait. Even though mine is called fake Drasil. I forgot about that. Yeah. John's stupid. I love John. But he's stupid. Oh, hold on. Let's post that. I'll post a link in the chat so you can see it uncropped and at your own leisure later if you wanna. Never mind, I'm not gonna do that because I'm on the wrong laptop. Never mind, chat. You suck. What's up, J-Mac? Pseudo is fake. Yeah, I know. He really isn't a smart boy, you know? Really isn't a smart boy. Oh, Don's. Are they gonna? What are they doing? Oh, he did. He posted it 30 minutes ago. I didn't see no Hilters in here. It didn't work. No Hilters came to the stream. Doesn't matter though. Anyways, yeah. I don't remember why we brought that up, but yeah. Pseudo-wudo kind of thick. Wait, what? Why do you wish Adam was here? What do those two ideas have to do with each other?
After leaving Pewter City and making your way through another generic route of trainer battles, the player is faced with Mount Moon, the first dungeon of the game. These dungeons play by different rules
Okay, yeah, this is all new to me.
than the standard routes. Here there is no avoiding wild Pokemon. Every
Or maybe not, because well, let's see.
single step risks an interruption from your exploration. Unless you liberally apply repels, these incessant encounters are
Adam loves thick Pokemon. Does he? I don't remember saying he loved the thick ones, but... Actually, no, yeah, that sounds about right. Adam does like the thick, humanoid Pokemon. That's what he said. He said that to me in DMs. That he regularly engages with. Yes.
a massive
I'm
source
definitely not just a mod because I made funny pictures of him for a year and then they recognized me and made me a mod. We are definitely friends.
of frustration. With so many forced battles, you'll be defeating more Zubat than you ever thought possible. What little ecological variety each dungeon possesses
I feel like I should explain the joke. Some people assume that like I like know them, but I don't. I'm just as much a viewer as anybody else. But some people are like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "No, I don't know him I know him as much as you do."
is quickly exhausted. At this point, random encounters only serve to annoy the player.
Only serve to annoy the player. That's their only functionality. Only one, except for,
It's a shame
the whole like RPG thing where you're adventuring and you get interrupted by like an encounter. J-Mac, you know about tabletops and stuff like that. You can tell us. That's a thing, right? Like sometimes you're adventuring and then there's some monsters that like circle around us. We have to fight them, right? Am I right? Or is that like a Japanese invention that the Japanese made after we bombed them as retaliation? We bombed them twice, and then they retaliated by making us have random encounters in our games,
that dungeons are tainted
right? Which one? It's either one or the other.
by these frustrating mechanics, because otherwise they're an engaging test of the
Wait, I didn't realize what you said. The pals are so much hotter, though. No, stop. I do and yes. So yeah. Wait, yes to which one? These only serve to annoy us and it's because we bombed them, or yes, tabletop monsters?
player's
I'm gonna assume the former.
navigation ability and are much more interesting
Nah, encounters are a staple of the art in RPGs. Nah, I think you're lying. I think that's FBI propaganda.
in their
They're just here to annoy me and nothing else.
design than the stock routes that make up most of the game world.
Okay, we have to go back because I interrupted him way too much.
Mechanics, because otherwise they're an engaging test of the player's navigation ability.
Wait, what?
Random encounters only serve to annoy the player. It's a shame that dungeons are tainted by these frustrating mechanics, because otherwise they're an engaging test of the player's navigation ability and are much
This first dungeon is super short. It's super short. I am always surprised how short it is because I remember like the first 2 or 3 times I played Gen 1, it like felt like a decent like sized dungeon. They're really short. And I don't think there's even like a wrong way to go in this first one. He might just be speaking generally here to be fair, but the one he's showing is the first one. It's really straightforward. So I completely disagree. I don't think it's like a what did he say?
mechanics, because otherwise they're an engaging test of the player's navigation ability.
Yeah, engaging tests for the player's navigation ability. I don't think so. I think they're pretty straightforward. Which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but I wouldn't say they're like tainted by random encounters, and otherwise would have been brilliant.
And are
I am
much
exaggerating what he's saying, but you know.
more interesting in their design than the stock routes that make up most of the game world.
That's a claim.
As far back as I can remember,
Okay, to be fair to him, maybe he's talking about like the side. I forget what it's called. Where you fight on Rakuno, because I'm pretty sure that's where this is. Maybe he's not talking about the thing he's showing on screen. Which, you know.
I've always had a fondness for corn mazes and mirror mazes in real life. This naturally extends into an affinity for maze-like environments.
Okay, this one's like decent enough, I guess. Where I would kind of agree what he's saying. But then why show the first one too? Because that one isn't. That one's really straightforward.
Games like Zelda or
Have we really been streaming for 2 hours already? We have. Seafoam, thank you, JMac. See, that's why JMac's in the chat. And that's why we have Copa, to remind us of things by looking at his bald head. Thank you, JMac. That is true.
Dark Souls.
JMac, have you ever used bug-type Pokemon in Gen 1, like, in a meaningful manner? Because was using Paris on my latest playthrough for the video I'm making. And Paris destroys Charmy. Like, super easily. One second, chat. One second. Stand by. Look at Copa. All right, we're back, I think. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's like, dude, I only have 3 gyms left. My Parasect, I still feel like it's significantly like good. Like on my team, which is really weird. I never would have thought that. I had to stop using it because it was getting over leveled because of how much I was using it. I didn't even use it for Erica, which I really should have, or was really planning to do. It would make sense to do it, but I didn't even need to, and I stopped myself from doing that because it was gonna be over leveled at that point.
I'm not pretending Pokemon dungeons ever reach anything close to the ingenious designs found in those games, but they still grant
In what games? I missed that. What games is he comparing this to?
world. As far back as I can
Is Scyther. Yeah, I like Scyther too. I've only used him once. I'm going to reuse him for my red playthrough.
remember, I've always had a fondness for corn mazes and mirror mazes in real life. This naturally
Oh,
extends
okay.
into an affinity for maze-like environments in games like Zelda or Dark Souls.
Oh no, he said Zelda or Dark Souls. I haven't played Dark Souls. I guess it depends what Zelda games he's talking about. I haven't played A Link to the Past in such a long time, so I don't really remember. But yeah, that would be more complex than this. but the first Zelda's pretty comparable, at least like the dungeon, like layout wise, like how to maneuver through it. It's pretty comparable to Gen 1, I would say.
I'm not pretending Pokemon dungeons ever reach anything close to the ingenious designs found in those games, but they still grant me the satisfaction that arises as I slowly learn the layout.
Yeah. I was gonna not put Spore on mine. I was gonna do Spore or Stun Spore. But then I thought, no, I would rather, if I like survive a hit and can either put it to sleep or paralyze it, I'd rather put it to sleep and guarantee that it at least doesn't hit me for one turn, you know?
Without the aid of a map. Mount Moon is the simplest of these dungeons,
Okay, to be fair, he did mention that Mount Moon is simple. Okay, I take it back. We're liking the... Oh, we already liked it.
but the complexity ramps up rapidly in Rock Tunnel, Pokemon Mansion,
I don't think Rock Tunnel is about the same. It's about the same. I don't think you can get... Maybe I just know the route. Maybe I've never seen, like... Maybe I've never gotten lost in it because I've always known the route. But I'm pretty sure it's like just very straightforward. I could be wrong though, I don't know.
Victory Road, and the optional Seafoam Islands.
Yeah, super good for catching anything. Putting them to sleep really increases the chance of catching them.
Power Plant, and Cerulean
Or
Cave.
at least just like makes it easier, you know?
The Rocket Hideout and Sylph Company fill the same void, but all
Wow, he called him Sylph Company. I wish I could like this video twice. Usually people just call him Sylphco, but yeah. Interesting. Unique. I like it.
offer a
And so does Copa. He loves it too.
merciful break from the wild encounters. Sylph in particular is a highlight, a massive 11-floor structure overtaken by Team Rocket, filled with warp tiles and locked doors that really make
I usually fight every single enemy encounter here, but for my blue playthrough, I'm gonna just not do that. I'm just gonna play what I need to do in order to beat this place, and then I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna see if that like significantly holds me back level wise. Because right now I'm almost at level 40 with all my Pokemon. So I don't know. I don't think I would need... No, I think I'll be fine. And I'm also not going to grind at the end before the Elite Four, and I just want to see like how doable it is if I never grind in the game, because I haven't grinded once yet. So, we'll see.
you feel hopelessly lost. Speaking of Team Rocket, it's at this point that
Yeah, you don't need Flash for Rock Tunnel. I did use it for my blue playthrough just to show it off on the recording. But otherwise, I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to do it for my red one.
they are formally introduced. What little story exists
Oh, speaking of JMac, if you have a like save file of Gen 1, like email it to me so I can like trade myself one of your Pokemon and feature it in the video. If you want to do that. If you care, you know. Cuz like one of the things I want to bring up is you like the games are built around like trading with people. So I want to show that off. Of course, we have to do it through the internet nowadays because, you know, not many people carry around a Game Boy with them.
in these games revolves around the downfall of Team Rocket at the player's hands.
Wait, these games revolve around that? That's, I don't know about that. We'll see if he said that.
Speaking of Team Rocket, it's at this point that they are formally introduced.
Okay, at this point.
What little story exists in these games revolves around the downfall of Team Rocket at the player's hands.
Yes. I mean, that is true. That, like, happens. I wouldn't say, like, that's... No, okay, no, that's fair. It is heavily featured, Team Rocket, that is. Yeah, that's fair. I won't argue that.
A video game story is generally intended to motivate the player to move forward, but I can't say the Team Rocket plot.
Yeah, but you live a million miles away. Do you have a card dumper? Like where you can turn it into like a thing you can use on an emulator? If you don't, that's sad.
Line accomplishes this at all. After our first encounter with a
They're also pretty cheap. You should probably get it just because it's useful also.
grunt stealing Pokemon
Make sure you get a good one though, unlike me. I got a shitty one. And it deleted my save.
fossils in Mount Moon, Rocket members regularly make appearances to stir up trouble and provide feeble excuse for filler content.
I do really like how the game is constantly mentioning Team Rocket in subtle ways. Not subtle, but like out of the way ways. Yeah, I got one of those. That's cool, dude. Yeah. Where was I going with that? Copa, remind me. What were we talking about, Copa? Oh yeah, Team Rocket. Hold on. 1 second. Fucking. One second, chat. People are being retarded. Copa, give us strength. By Copa, I mean Jesus.
Their modus operandi is about as shallow as you can get.
1 second. I gotta wait. 1 second. Sorry about that. This is why I hate streaming. Just kidding. I love streaming and AI, Copa. Yeah, when I'm making a video and I get interrupted for some whatever reason, it doesn't matter because I'm just gonna cut that out of the video. But when we're live and there's people watching and I have to shut the fuck up for like 2 minutes, it don't feel no good. It feels kind of stupid. Anyways. He said their motivation is incredibly pathetic or whatever. Here, let's back it up, see what he actually said.
Rocket members regularly make appearances to
Oh,
stir
actually,
up
I was
trouble
making a
and
point. Shut up, you stupid. Austin, that's a stupid name. Just kidding. In case you ever see this. I love you, Austin. The game very subtly references Team Rocket and their mischievous, their nonsense, their criminal activity. But only through like NPCs. So if you never talk to them, you're never gonna notice that. But in this blue playthrough that I'm doing, I am doing that, and it is really interesting. Like before you get to Celadon, you're constantly being told Team Rocket is a problem and they're up to no good. There's even a guy in I forget the name of the town, like where the boat is, where the SS Anne is. That place. There's a guy there. He's like writing a letter to somebody in Celadon, and the letter is like, "Yeah, I've heard there's problems in Team Rocket. Stay safe," or something like that. So it's pretty cool. I like how they build up to that.
provide feeble excuse.
It makes getting to Celadon a lot more interesting because you get there and you're like, "Oh shit, they're just walking the streets here." Because here this guy's like hiding in quotes, but they're like running shit.
For filler content. Their modus operandi is about as shallow as you can get. Make money by exploiting Pokemon.
Would you say that the modus operandi, I would say operandi, but whatever, the modus operandi of the real life mob, the mafia, is that as shallow as you can get? Because I don't think anybody would really say that about the mafia, you know? Even if it is technically true. You wouldn't frame it that way. Again, I should have added framing to the bingo card.
There just isn't anything here to get invested in. It doesn't help that all of the Team Rocket members you fight carry practically identical.
Yeah, none of the remake the world or control time and space or whatever the fuck they're doing in the other games. Yeah, no, it's straightforward. Look at this evil motherfucker. I love him. Also, I don't know what he did, if he has like a filter over his emulation or if he's literally just like recording off of his Game Boy, because this is how it looks. If you like record it, that's how it looks. 1 second. Yeah, power and influence isn't shallow. Dude, they're running Celadon. And the adjacent town. What's it called? There's literally, I think there's like literally a lockdown, right? That's why the guards don't let you pass into... What's the town's name? Is it Saffron? I think it's Saffron, right? Yeah, I don't remember if any of the NPCs actually say this or if it's just like an inference based on what's happening. They literally have a city locked down. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's how like I took it. But they're running Celadon, dude. They're running that shit. You can talk to like the guy. I think it's like the guy that owns the game corner. And he's like losing his mind how good things are going. And there's a Team Rocket guy there's like, I don't know why he says this. I think he's like supposed to be like on the phone. I think that's the implication. But he says like, yeah, we've sold like 2,000 Pokemon in prizes. So yeah, they're running shit. I wouldn't say that's necessarily shallow. It's not the most complex thing, but you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, would you complain about like Dragon Quest III? Like, I mean, some people would, so never mind. Yeah, they would complain. It's straightforward.
Teams. A small subset of the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's right. They completely that. Thank you, J-Mac. That's why we're here, and that's why we have Copa to look at every once in a while. Yeah, they completely take over Silsco. Yes, absolutely. Also, they murdered that Marowak. Yeah. One of the guys in the Ghost Town. He says that, I don't remember exactly the wording, but he basically implies that the reason why there's so many ghost Pokemon right now, or why they're like acting up, is because they're the spirits of the Pokemon they killed. So, not exactly, but basically, in Gen 1, the ghost Pokemon that you can catch are there because of how much Team Rocket is messing stuff up.
Pokemon roster are just permanently designated.
But you know, there's not like a cutscene where they say, where like an old man says, "Oh, Team Rocket's fucking the Pokemon in the ass, and they're dying from it." So since there's not that, you know, it's like shallow or whatever.
As Rocket Pokemon, and you'll fight these over and over with each of the seemingly endless grunts that block your way.
Seemingly endless. I mean, for Silsco, that is true. It is a big building.
However, all this time battling faceless Rocket grunts does lead to a pretty cool payoff when the identity of the 8th gym leader is revealed to be Rocket leader Giovanni.
This is pretty cool. I agree. Let's like the video. Oh, we already did. Here, let's dislike it. So next time when we come to like it, we can actually do that.
Rematching him for the gym badge is a fun surprise, after defeating his mobster persona earlier.
I think it's in either Just in Yellow or in all the games. If you bring a flying Pokemon, like one of his Pokemon literally can't attack you. I forget which one it is. I think it's his... Does he have a Dugtrio? I think in Yellow he does. If you bring a flying Pokemon, he literally can't do anything to you.
I'm trying to keep this retrospective to a
Yeah, if you talk to the NPCs, it's pretty explicit how shitty they are. Yeah.
manageable length, so I'm going to end the beat-by-beat commentary at Mount Moon. To be brutally honest, there is so much repeated filler that it's best to analyze at a higher level while picking out some noteworthy moments.
Wait, what is he saying here?
Beat-by-beat commentary at Mount Moon. To be
Wait, what?
I'm trying to keep this retrospective to a manageable length, so I'm going to end the beat-by-beat commentary at Mount Moon.
Oh, okay, okay. Was he doing that? I didn't even think that's what he was doing, but okay.
To be brutally honest, there is so much repeated filler that it's best to analyze at a higher level while picking out some noteworthy moments. I just don't think I have the capability to recap each generic route in Mindless Trainer Gauntlet, and you certainly don't want to watch me try.
Dude. That is true. I mean, yeah, yeah. There's no reason to do that, though. Yeah, okay. I stopped there because yesterday my video I was making, it's on the Cowabunga collection, all the old school TMNT beat 'em up games. Dude, it's really hard to find anything to say about them. Not because they're bad games, because they're just like really straightforward. Which is why I like grouped them all. I grouped like three games, technically 5, into one video. And yeah, I was struggling to find what to say. So yeah.
The term generic to refer to the various routes that comprise much of the Kanto map. But that doesn't mean I hate them.
Yeah, you can think something that is generic isn't hateable or whatever, you know?
Modeled after real-world Japan, these routes feel like an authentic time capsule of the rural countryside of Tajiri's youth. Something would be lost if each route offered flashy novelty. There's a level of beauty in the monotony.
Yeah. Okay. Never really thought of it that way, but okay. That's fine.
Nevertheless, I do still perk up when I arrive at a new town. Even if it's just a local gym, there is always something different to break up the journey. Most of these attractions are pretty poorly implemented when
okay, let's let him finish.
you look at them objectively, but even something like the Game Corner or the Safari Zone offers a fresh experience.
Wait, what is he talking about then?
Break up the journey. Most of these attractions are pretty poorly implemented when you look at them objectively.
Okay, can we look at them objectively? Because now you've piqued my interest, buddy.
But even something like the Game Corner or the Safari Zone offers a fresh experience. Furthermore, I'm not one to turn
Are we not going to explain why it's pretty bad objectively? You can't just throw that out and then not explain it. What are you doing?
down an opportunity to expand my Pokedex and team with some of the more elusive Mons.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if this is like a normal thing or if I just got super lucky twice. But I'm playing off of the N64 with the Stadium Game Boy Tower, and it has a speed up function. For the Game Corner on one of the slot machines, I sped it up and was literally just spamming the A button. And I think I like managed to get it into like a perfect rhythm, where I just like was keep getting, winning the slots over and over and over again, for like a good like 5 minutes, I think, which is really weird. Twice. It happened twice.
The genius of Kanto's layout is underappreciated if you ask me. A brief overview of the path we trod is in order. The leg from Pallet Town to Cerulean City is very straightforward, but after that there are many branching paths. Without playing the games themselves, it's not clear where...
Yeah, once you get here... Once you get cut... You can go... Actually, no, that's not true. Once you get to Celadon... No, that's not even true either. Whatever.
one would actually progress from Cerulean. The game actually jumps you all over the place unpredictably from here. Even after playing the game, it can be hard to remember the...
I see there's 8 viewers right now. Is that true or is it bugged? Sound off in chat if you're here watching. Because I feel like that's bugged. And if you don't, I'm going to be sad in the pants. And in the face.
the exact path we took. Players haven't obtained HM Cut at this point, so progress to the east is blocked by a solitary bush. Therefore, we head south, not to Saffron, but to Vermilion, through an underground
Vermilion, that's the seaside town.
tunnel that bypasses Saffron
Hello.
completely. The game sends the player in circles surrounding Saffron for quite a while, yet access to the city
Jason's still here? Hell yeah.
itself is restricted by guard shacks at each of the 4 entrances. From Vermilion
Peace out, J-Mac. Thanks for stopping by.
our progress to the east is blocked by a sleeping Snorlax blocking
I thought he said he was done with the beat by beat thing, and then he's doing it again. Okay.
the path. So we must backtrack, through Diglett Cave if you wish, to Cerulean, where we can progress to the east with Cut. Side note, Cut and the other HMs, Surf and Strength, open up many optional areas with
Oh yeah, I need to do this. Actually, should I do it? Yeah, we'll do it. Okay, never mind. JMac, you crazy person! Thank you for the 10 memberships again. Thank you. I need to I need to finish setting that up now.
valuable items once obtained. The game rewards those who
Hey,
remember
look, Angry Canadian got one, and he's not here.
and return to the
Sad.
ability gates that previously eluded them. Other than the rock
I don't recognize those other people. You're on a road trip? That's cool. How's it going?
tunnel, it's a straightforward path from Cerulean to Lavender Town. This is probably the best place to touch on the game's music, because Lavender Town's theme is one of the most famous compositions. I'm far from a music expert, but I consider this soundtrack to be an incredible achievement given the hardware limitations. These are infectious tracks that effortlessly
Yeah, the music is really good in Gen 1. Though I did notice that whenever I watch a video on Gen 1 and they start playing the music, like I almost want to stop watching the video because it just feels the same as every other video. So for my video, I'm going to be using the stadium tracks instead, and other music from other games.
worm their way into your subconscious, and have proven timeless as they form the backbone of the musical identity for the entire series. Apologies for the tangent, but I didn't know where else to
I haven't even been looking at the bingo card, but I don't think he said anything that warrants... I hope not.
mention that. There isn't much we can do in Lavender for the time being. The Sylph Scope is necessary to deal with the restless spirits
Have I even checked anything? I don't think I have since we've been watching this.
in the Pokemon Tower. That Sylph Scope is found in the Rocket Hideout underneath the game corner in Celadon City. Once again, we take advantage of an underground passage to bypass Saffron. Progress to the west is blocked by yet another sleeping Snorlax. Fortunately, the vending machines on the roof of the Celadon department store sell refreshing beverages that can be used to bribe the guards and finally enter Saffron. Fast travel through HM Fly isn't unlocked until Route 16, so all
Yeah, we're kind of like running into the the problem where there's not much to say now. Maybe I'll just leave it off here, or skip a little bit because it's just kind of like a yep. So let's just skip to the gym part, I guess. Look at that! Look at that Nidoqueen.
the games actually allow for a
Dude,
massive amount of
shut
non-linearity
the
in
fuck up. Let me talk. I stopped talking about music in my videos just because it was like I don't really have much to say other than I like it. So I just kind of like stopped. I was never really good at it, which is really weird because I really like music. Like I like it a lot. It's just, like in general. But finding like a way to try to convey how I like it is just impossible for me. I don't know why.
gym leader order, if you choose to seek it out. The directed progression naturally brings you to the gyms in the established order, but in most cases there is no requirement
What's the established order? I don't think so. I think it's more natural to wait and do Koga second to last when he's the 5th. Technically. Or not second to last, what am I saying? Third to last.
to
I
actually
always in my mind I always think that Blaine's the last one, but he's not. I don't know
meet
why.
the gym leader before moving on. Brock and Misty must always be the
What does guard spec do? I thought it prevented like status afflictions on the enemy. But I literally like the enemy Pokemon used it and then I like paralyzed them. So I don't know what guard specs does.
first two in that
Does
order.
does it prevent accuracy lowering maybe?
But from there, it's
I'll have to look into that.
left wide open. HM Cut is obtained on the SS Anne in Vermilion before fighting Lieutenant Surge, and is usable without beating him, so you could just skip him if you please. Erika, Koga, and Sabrina can also be tackled
Yeah,
in any order.
I've accidentally left left Surge unbeaten until like almost the very end. I think that was like the last time I played the games. I was like, oh, I completely forgot about Surge. Whoops. And I almost did it this time as well on my playthrough for the video.
The only requirement for fighting Blaine is that you've earned the ability to surf from beating Koga, so you could slot Blaine in before Surge, Erika, or Sabrina if you really wanted to. Giovanni's gym, however, can only be challenged after the other 7 badges have already been obtained. To sum it
True.
up, the only limits on the
I was
gym
very confused when I couldn't challenge him after I skipped Surge. I'm like, what happened?
order are Brock must be first, Misty must be second, Giovanni must be last, and Koga comes before Blaine. Otherwise, the world is your oyster.
Yeah, I do really like that actually. Pretty neat.
The mathematically
I didn't realize that here, let's go back.
before Blaine.
I didn't realize you could do Blaine before any of these guys previously, which is pretty cool.
Otherwise, the world is your oyster. The mathematically inclined among my audience might be interested to learn that
You guys like math? Math's pretty cool, right?
by using factorials, we can calculate the total number of possible gym orders as 5 factorial over 2, or 60 unique permutations.
Nerd. Also pretty cool though.
As with Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past, opportunities to create your own narrative like this are something I really respect, even if the vast
You can do that in Ocarina? That's cool. I didn't know that.
majority of players
Although I did know you could do that in A Link to the Past, where you get the what's it called? The thing that makes the blocks. What's it called? The staff of something? Here, let me try to recall that Some Call Me Johnny video where he's complaining about the Ice Palace, and then he says, and yes, I know you can get the something in the one place, but I didn't do that, so I'm gonna bitch. What does he say? What's the name of that item? I don't remember. What's up, Copa? You got a membership. That's super cool. You should spam the emojis right now.
will never take advantage of them. It's like the developers are giving you their blessing to sequence break. It's obviously appropriate for Giovanni to be the final gym challenge, but even beyond that, I really enjoy how the game naturally loops you back around to Palette and Viridian.
Nobody mentions... Well, actually, that's not true, but not enough people mention that. Yes, it's very Dragon Quest-esque. Very Dragon Quest-esque. Stolen flag colors. Did Italy... Here, let's see how old the Italian flag is. How old is the Italian flag? Oh, I accidentally wrote it without an L. Just kidding. 1861. Okay. Oh, they had the cross in the middle. Okay, let's see. Shut up. Mexican. Don't... Okay. Yeah, we definitely stole that. Guilty as charged. We made it kind of better. Hey, look, I have a Pokemon in my emojis. I forgot about that. That's appropriate for this stream. Been here on whole time, but on mute? I'm going to remove you from my Copa screen. I'm going to put Dawn here instead. Just kidding. I would never do that to you, Copa. I'm sorry I said that. I feel ashamed. Please forgive me.
You've had little reason to ever return up to this point, so it's possible the player hasn't spoken to their mom since the beginning of the game.
Bro, speaking to your mom is stupid. Imagine doing that. I literally never speak to the mom because you can just walk past her, like in Gen 2, so I just never speak to her.
Your sleepy hometown, now one of the strongest Pokemon trainers.
But yeah, I think I didn't fully say what I was saying. It's very Dragon Quest 1-esque, where you like see your end goal at the beginning. Although here you can't see the end goal, but it's very close to where you start off. So then you have to go back. It's kind of like that.
in the region
Not exactly, but sort of.
really makes you appreciate the scope of your journey. There's only one place to go from here, the Indigo Plateau by way of Victory Road, conveniently waiting for you right where the adventure began. The Elite Four are the final test for any prospective Pokemon Master.
Should I stream me beating the Elite Four for Pokemon Blue? I think that would be kind of fun. The only problem is that I think I would need to install certain drivers into this laptop to work the Dazzle, which is the capture card I'm using to capture the game. And it's pretty finicky. So I don't know if that would work. But that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of fun. That would actually be super fun. Maybe I'll do that.
Essentially, 4 more high-level gym leaders. The challenge is ramped up significantly because all 4 are fought back-to-back with no chance to rest up in a Pokemon Center until the gauntlet is over.
Yeah, you gotta bring items, boy. Something that people don't like to use because it's competitive. Taught them that it's cheating.
Bothers me that with the 8 gym leaders...
You still have your OG Game Boy and it still works? Dude, of course it works. Those things will work forever. Literally forever.
And the 4 Elite Four members, only 12 of the 15 total types are covered by a specialist. It would be so clean if every single type got representation.
I don't think it really matters in terms of you use a Dazzle. Yeah, because I'm recording off. So, okay, here's a long story. I'm recording off of... I'm playing the games off of the N64's, Pokemon Stadium's Game Boy Tower. And for whatever reason... And I think the reason is the video signal is literally too small. It doesn't... I hook it up to my Hauppauge, which is also an old recording device, and it just doesn't record right. It, like, freaks out whenever I try to record it. My guess is that the video signal is literally too small for it to, like, properly recognize it. So I have 2 options. I can use a shitty Chinese upscaler that doesn't actually upscale anything, but lets me record it with my Elgato, and it will look like shit, or I can use a Hauppauge. I can use the Dazzle, so I'm picking the Dazzle. It also doesn't fuck with the aspect ratio, which I like, which the Chinese upscaler will.
As is, just the bug...
I guess I could do that. No, I'll test it out. Maybe I can do that instead of installing the drivers for the Dazzle.
Normal, and flying types are absent. With how much Game Freak clearly struggled...
Did I travel back into 2009 and steal it? No, brother. They're still making them. They're still making them. You can buy one now, and it will say compatible with Windows 11 on it. Like the box. Yeah, I literally have my box here. It says compatible with Windows 11. They're making them. Though you got to be careful with which one you buy. I originally bought one off of eBay, and it was like a shitty old one that didn't work. Oh, but I don't have an original Elgato. I have like a what's it called? What's this thing called? HD60 S Plus. So no composite for me. But yeah, I don't really know about the original Elgatos. Oh, you still have one? That's cool. I love it when people have their old capture cards. It's cool.
To form varied teams for the more niche dragon or ghost types. It's curious that 3 of the most...
Yeah, but I don't even remember if I finished saying what I was saying. It would be better if all the types were in the Elite Four.
Common types...
But I don't think it's that big of a deal that they're not represented here.
...left untouched. Once you finally limp over the finish line, having defeated Lorelei, Bruno...
Lorelei! That's the one! That's the one that we were talking about earlier this stream. Lorelei, yeah, from the anime specifically.
Agatha, and Lance in succession, the game has one more nasty surprise for you. Your rival Blue actually achieved his goal first.
He didn't really talk about the dragon types. I don't think, unless I missed that.
And one last battle is in order to determine who is truly the champion. This is one of the toughest fights in the game because Blue's team is high-leveled and very well balanced, with no shared weaknesses to prey on.
He also has a full team of 6, which does a lot. I do think that the Elite Four should have had a full team of 6. But whatever. Maybe they couldn't do it because of space limitations.
We've watched Blue...
Are we really not going to get a freaking bingo? What does this one say? Did we miss this? No, he didn't complain about limitations or choice making. I don't think he complained about move pools either.
His team grow throughout our shared adventure, so this battle comes packed with extra...
He does use pretty good Pokemon though, and like I said, he'll use an Alakazam, which very good.
Gravitas. The fight would be a great challenge even if the player entered the battle in tip-top shape. With their team in a weakened state from the previous...
Even though I really like the crappier red and blue sprites. This one looks nice.
His 4 consecutive battles.
Especially when I'm looking on it on OBS because it's a lot smaller. So it looks like it would have on an actual Game Boy, and it looks nice.
Players must muster up all their skill and determination if they hope to stand up to Blue. It will likely take a number of attempts, but Blue can and will be defeated. Roll credits.
No, he won't. It's literally impossible to defeat him. Yeah, him being... you were pissed at it? That's funny. Yeah, him being the champion is pretty cool. I don't really care that the rival in Gen 2 isn't the champion, because I think, what's his name? Dragon Boy. What's his name? I forgot his name. But the other guy being the champion is slightly cooler, I guess.
If I'm being honest with
Who was the champion before him, though? That's the thing. And we'll never know.
myself, these
That'd be cool. See, that's another thing for the Gen 1 remakes that will never happen. If you find the original champion, and he's like, he challenges you, and he's way harder.
games are difficult to
Or better yet, he hunts you down because you're the new champion, and he's like, I want to be the champion again, so I got to beat you. There you go. It's an idea for Gen 1 remake.
today. Even excusing the amount of tedious filler, there are countless inconveniences baked into the core design that serve only to add frustration to the gameplay experience.
Only frustration and nothing else. That's one thing I need to bring up in the video, that there is a fine balance between something being too convenient and something being too inconvenient. And you really got to hit that middle ground. And I feel like most people's perspectives on it is shifted to where something that's inconvenient, even in the slightest, is just viewed as the same as completely inconvenient, you know? I don't think I worded that very well, but that's what the script is for.
The game moves at a sluggish pace, both in battles and...
Dude, no. This is my reaction to what he just said. No. I love having Jinx there. No, dude. Gen 1 is very well paced. It's very, very fast. I'm almost done with the game. Like, I could beat it today if I really wanted to. You could blitz through it super easily. What are you on about? Damn, we already disliked it. Here, let's like it so then we can dislike it. There we go.
in the overworld. The dreadfully slow walk speed is alleviated for the most part with the eventual acquisition of the bicycle.
Yeah, the bike. It's not even that slow. Like, for the world that we're in, like, things are pretty... It's pretty, like, short, you know? Or not short, what am I saying? It's pretty, confined. That's not the word. What word am I looking for? Tightly knit? No, it's not the word either. It doesn't take very long to get from one place to another.
But the game arbitrarily restricts
at any point in the game.
Use of the bike inside dungeons or buildings.
Hold on, let me hear what he said again.
Bicycle. But the game arbitrarily restricts use of the bike inside dungeons or buildings.
You can use the bike in the dark tunnel, whatever it's called. I think you can use it in here too. Yeah, you can use you can use it in here too. So no, you can only not use it in Silphscow and the Game Corner underground. Specifically like dungeons, you know? So no. You can use it in here. Unless I'm wrong. Unless you can't use it. Maybe you can't use it in yellow. He is playing yellow, so maybe you can't use it in yellow. But you can use it in red and blue. Well, I don't see why they would change that in yellow, so maybe he's just wrong. I don't know.
Pokemon PC is a nightmare to navigate with its non-existent UI. Just nest.
No, this is an existent UI. It's just not a very good one. Sir, don't just say stuff that is objectively wrong.
In text. And is nearly impossible
Wait, hold on. Maybe I cut him off too soon.
to navigate with its non-existent UI. Just nested text. And is
That is a UI. It's a very basic UI, but it is a UI technically, right? Am I wrong, chat? Tell me if I'm wrong or not.
arbitrarily restricts use of the bike inside dungeons or buildings. Bill's Pokemon PC is a nightmare to navigate with its non-existent UI, just nested text, and is nearly impossible to keep organized in any semblance of the word.
It is a real pain because it's just lists. It's really hard. I always just use Pokemon Stadium to organize it because it's so much easier once you're using Pokemon Stadium. Specifically the second game, actually. The first one's like kind of okay. The second one though, super easy to move around Pokemon and whatnot. Super easy. Always use Pokemon Stadium 2 for that.
The item bag is severely limited in size,
Which is why... Wow, whatever.
which could be a potentially interesting design choice if not for the fact that the PC's item storage is just as restrictive. You'll frequently have to sell off even valuable items like TMs if you want to continue picking up new items.
No? Again... No. I mean, the only time I've ever been full on the actual PC item-wise is when I'm duping items. But that's it. So technically, yes, you can naturally fill up the PC with items, but I don't think that's normally going to happen to you. about the item management, yeah. It is a pain though. Like he is right. It's not the worst thing though, right? I can't remember what Dragon Quest I's item management is like. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's not good either. I think it's like comparably bad. But I can't remember. And what is it like in 3? I don't remember. I also don't remember what it's like in Final Fantasy 1. That's been too long since I played that. Yeah, but he does have a point. But I guess you could bring up examples of them being like significantly worse, and he doesn't even know how quote unquote good he has it here. I don't know.
Items. TMs are extremely
Like in I know Earthbound has a pretty bad one as well. Well, it's like bad in terms of how limited it is, not so much in the how you access things.
precious. Most are
See that's I just made a good point in my mind, and now I'm gonna say it out loud. The bag, it's only bad because of its limitations. It's not so bad because of it's like just a list. I mean, it could be better than that, but it's not like the worst thing that it's just a list. You know? Because you can like move stuff around in there. It would be pretty bad if you couldn't organize it in there with the select button. And you had to scroll down all the way to hit the bike, or you empty your bag and then refill it when the first thing be the bike, so it's always on top. See, that would be bad. Then that'd be crazy, but no, you can press select button.
limited to a single use per playthrough, and many Pokemon depend on the moves they teach for a varied moveset. Clearly these are
Wait, what is he saying?
items. TMs are extremely precious. Most are limited to a single use per playthrough, and many Pokemon depend on the moves they teach for a varied moveset.
Did we just get a bingo? Is that the one we needed? Complaining about? No, it's not. Damn it. Okay, he just needs to talk about sleep and rap, and we're good. Okay. Yeah. It would, I mean, yeah, it is obviously quote unquote better for you, for your ease of play, to have more than just one TM. But it's really not that bad. Like the fact that I only have one Rock Slide TM on the team I have now is literally inconsequential because only one of my Pokemon can actually learn it. Right? So, again, it's just like, it's more like a competitive thing.
Clearly these
But also, in Gen 1, it's like the worst game to complain about that stuff because in Gen 1, you can super easily dupe TMs. Super easily.
are tools that ought to be saved for the perfect opportunity, which is directly at odds with the restrictive inventory system. Quality of life
Wait,
features are
what?
varied moveset. Clearly, these are tools that ought to be saved for the perfect opportunity,
Yes, agreed.
which is directly at odds with the restrictive inventory system.
No. No. Like, if you could only carry 10 items in the whole game and there was no PC system, I would maybe agree. But that's not the case at all. Yeah, no, it's not nearly as restrictive unless you're going out of your way to get them all at once. No, that's not even true. Even if you are going for all the TMs, like to get all the TMs and put them all in your PC and have them all in your PC at the same time, you can still do that because there's 50 slots in the PC and there's 50 TMs, so you can do that. You just have to you just have to carry all the key items on you for like a brief moment to do that. But I mean, you wouldn't. Yeah, no. You're wrong. I wish I could do a good Trump to say you're wrong, but I can't do it. I'll do an Indian Trump. You are wrong. Nah, not doing that.
Quality of life features are nearly non-existent. Even simple actions like
Quality of life features are nearly non-existent, other than, being able to press select and reorganize the bag.
surfing on a body of water directly in front of the player requires extensive menu navigation.
No, not extensive. It's such a small thing, dude. You press start, you press Pokemon. You usually don't even have to move over to Pokemon. You just press it, then you go into the Pokemon, you press them, and then you just press A again because it's usually just unless you have more than one HM. And you just press surf and you're surfing. Super quick. It's super duper quick. It's not that much better. It's marginally better to be able to just walk up to the water, press A, press yes, and then surf. Marginally better.
It's hard to fault the fledgling dev team too much, but at the same time, it's impossible to overlook how much the game gets in its own way.
Again, it's so small. It's such a small thing. Even for strength, where you have to like redo it over and over again once you switch rooms, it's not that big of a deal. Now, if you had to press strength every single time you move the boulder once, then yeah, I would agree. It would be terrible. But that's not the case.
If you haven't
Scyther looks cool.
touched red, blue, and yellow since the 90s, I can assure
I've
you
never beaten them in the 90s on account that I was literally born the same year it came out in the States.
that you have no idea of the
You racist. Oh, he's lucky we already disliked the video.
extent that these games are broken.
I'm kidding.
They are held together with duct tape and a prayer.
Tomohiro was right when she said that everybody says that, literally. Where does that come from? What a wasted time. Yeah, I know, dude. Dude, so true. So true, meme. Or Mr. Bozo, rather. Who would waste their time doing that? Who would waste their time, A, making a 40-minute game, or B, watching a 40-minute video? I said game. I'm stupid. Who would do that? Why the fuck does my God of War 2 video not show up when I look up the channel name? Literally every other video popped up. Why? It's literally... You're ruining the joke. They're eating the dogs. Yeah, who would make a 40-minute video? See, that joke would have been way better if it actually popped up when it was supposed to. Anyways, what's up, meme?
Given how shoddy the programming is, it's a
We're playing bingo this time. We're not doing the notes, although I am taking notes. We also have Misty here, which I occasionally uncover to keep chat alive, keep the blood flowing through their body into a specific region, you know? That's also why we have Jinx here, for the exact same reason.
they work at all. I'm not going to list every single broken mechanic. These bugs
Oh, wait, hold on. We got to back it up.
They are held together with duct tape and a prayer. Given how shoddy the programming is, it's a miracle they work at all. I'm not going to
The Snyder cut was good though. Okay.
list every single broken mechanic. These bugs run rampant. We'd be here all day.
Do we have? I don't think we have glitchy on our card, do we? No, we don't. I don't see it unless it's already marked. Oh yeah, it's already marked. Never mind.
I've already mentioned some of these earlier,
Yeah, whatever.
like the Psychic
I
Ghost.
was gonna say, meme here. I'll send you the link so you can play bingo with us. But it's been like a slow. I think I've literally marked one thing since we started watching this video today. All the other ones I marked previously.
Interaction.
But for future reference, there's your bingo card if you want to play with us.
But here is a small
I don't think anybody clicked it.
sampling of other juicy bugs as a taste. The move Focus Energy reduces your chance of a critical hit rather than raising it.
I think the focus energy mentioning that is okay because I don't think enough people know about that. So I think that's okay to mention. Just because it's not like an obvious thing. It's not like I don't know.
And stat buffs granted for earning
I don't want to be too mean.
certain badges are stacked whenever a boosted move is used.
That's another newish one. When did this video come out? A year ago, yeah. That's another newish one. People didn't used to bring that up back in the day because I don't think anybody knew. Or not anybody, but most people on YouTube.
Possible for these stat boosts to get so high that they loop back around to
You
zero.
know what's another really good glitch that I don't think enough people mention? If you beat certain Pokemon that evolve via an Elemental Stone or a Moonstone or whatever, if you use that Pokemon, one of those Pokemon, to beat a specific Pokemon and they level up from beating that, they'll evolve as if you use that item on them. So I think if you beat Onyx with something that needs a Moonstone to evolve and they level up from that battle, they'll evolve. I think something like that.
Hyper Beam's recharge turn is skipped if the opponent
Yeah,
is
the Hyper Beam thing it's almost like I don't want to say it's unnecessary because I'm literally going to have to mention it. Or no, should I mention it in my video? No, yeah, I am going to mention it, but that's only because I'm talking about literally every single move in the game. So I'm going to have to mention that, yeah.
KO'd, and a flying or digging Pokemon can become permanently invulnerable if the attack fails. These are clearly
Super useful if it happens to you.
unintended interactions that make certain moves and strategies disproportionately strong. And then there are mechanics so poorly implemented you would swear that they're bugs, yet there is no evidence to suggest they weren't just bad ideas. Trapping moves like Wrap or Fire
Hey, yo, what's up, Yumar? Back to sleep? What, did you get an email and it woke you up? What do you mean?
Spin can be used to infinitely lock and whittle down
That's actually cool. Yeah. They're feasting on their... Yeah, they're doing a Soul Reaver. Wow, Pokemon is just like Soul Reaver.
on a Pokemon. Critical hits ignore stat changes, good or bad, and are tied to the speed stat.
No, I think that literally is a glitch. The critical hits ignoring speed. What am I saying? Critical hits ignoring stat boosts or reductions. I think that's a glitch.
Meaning a fast Pokemon like Persian can land a crit 99.6% of the time with Slash. A weird program.
I was about to say, didn't he say the opposite earlier? But no, that was the other video we were watching. But he did say speed or crits are tied to speed. Do I not have it? Yes, I do. One more, move pools. Has he not talked about that? I think we have a bingo. I just have to go back and reconfirm. I don't remember. It might have been the other video.
Programming quirk means nothing is 100% guaranteed. Even 100% accurate moves will miss one time out of 256. Admittedly, some of the bugs actually enhance the fun. Missing No might be the most famous video game
Missing no. Missing no. Epic.
glitch of all time.
You thought it was a feature? Bad nerf? What, the crits ignoring stuff? I don't know. I don't think it's a feature.
By executing a specific, seemingly nonsensical series of actions, players can manipulate the game's internal RNG to force an encounter with a specific Pokemon. If the internal identifier doesn't match with any of the 151 existing Pokemon, this mess of pixels
Hey,
appears
what's
instead.
up, HPR
The glitch
Streeter?
Pokemon is
Dude, I didn't know you guys knew each other until today. That was pretty cool of me finding that out. Now let's re-roll that phrase. Let's re-roll my sentence. Hey, what's up, HPR Shredder? I found that channel you have with Jason, and that's pretty cool. I didn't know you guys were making videos together. I also didn't realize who Jason was last week. I've seen some of his videos previously. Yeah.
even catchable.
Was that much better? I don't think that was much better. Yeah, he told me you linked him the stream. Thank you. That's pretty cool.
And appears
But didn't he show up before you last week? Am I misremembering? I thought that's what happened.
Pokedex as a normal and
Maybe I'm misremembering.
bird type.
You know, that's one thing I need to do. Thank Yeshua and not this guy. But also let's thank this guy for reminding me in this video that I need to catch a missing now in at least one of my games, because I literally never have done that. And then I need to transfer it to Gen 2 eventually when I do the Gen 2 videos. He loves a good roast. Well, that's what we're not. This video is significantly better than the one last week. I may have been lurking. Maybe.
Like the
You do be
bird-
kind of lurking though. Also, I want to show you. We have a AI Copa instead of this a normal Copa this time, and we also have Misty that we occasionally flash on screen to keep the viewers awake. You know, keep the blood flowing.
type not existing in game. Encountering Missing Node corrupts the save game in all sorts of ways, including beneficial effects like setting the player's 6th inventory slot to a quantity of 128. Infinite Master
Very epic.
Balls.
Although it does mess with your league records. Nah, this guy sucks. He's not that bad. Come on. Too basic. Yeah, it is a little too. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I feel bad about disliking the video. Let's like it now, even though he hasn't said anything. I wouldn't say no bingo. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you did mention the move pools and I just missed it. We're gonna have to go back after and recheck it. I'm pretty sure you mentioned the move pools being bad, but that might have been the last video. I might be misremembering. You've been streaming for 3 hours. Wow, that went fast.
Same glitch can be applied to encounter and capture any Pokemon. If the internal identification
Is it the same glitch that's happening? I don't know if it's the same glitch, but okay.
numbers are correctly manipulated.
Nostalgia mentioned. Yeah, I think I skipped the intro, so you might have mentioned it. I don't know.
I couldn't resist the opportunity to actually use Mew
We'll use the transcript to check later.
in my in-game team.
Wait, oh, you can do it in yellow, but it's different. That's right. Cool. I really like the yellow Mew sprite. It looks nice. More professional than the last? Oh, significantly so. I will say, like, in presentation, this is at least coherent and easy to follow, and I don't feel like I'm stupid from watching it.
The purpose behind this video was to determine what caused these humble games to birth the biggest multimedia franchise in history. Now that we've taken an extensive look at the games, I could name countless
Who does he remind me of? Maybe he reminds me of himself. His voice just sounded very familiar there.
areas where they fail, and yet the game succeeded beyond anyone's wildest expectations. Again, I ask, what exactly makes these games so special? Is it the mechanical
I don't know if you should be asking that this late into the video. I don't know.
depth in Pokemon's take on JRPG combat? Nope. Even when the combat mechanics are functioning as intended,
Well, fuck me. No, it ain't the combat. That sucks.
they remain surface level throughout. Is it the gripping story about taking out Team Rocket and overcoming the gym challenge?
I just really dislike when how can I explain this in a metaphor? It's like saying that Mario is... No, that's not exactly the same. It's like bringing up the lack of power-ups that you pick up that give you different abilities in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare's multiplayer mode. You know? It's kind of like, this game is good, or no. It's kind of like just saying... It's just like that. It's like bringing up the lack of power-ups in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and like feeling the need to mention that in any capacity. It's like, why? There's no need to mention the lack of power-ups in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So why are you talking about the story in Pokemon? You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying? You know where I'm coming from? It's like talking about the lack of platforming in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It's like talking about the lack of platforming in Onimusha. So yeah, like there's not that much platforming in this game, Onimusha. It's like, what? Why would you bring that up? Why would that even be a thing on your mind? That there needs to be platforming or that matters in any way? You know?
Obviously not. Don't make me laugh. It may go without saying, but I posit much of the Pokemon appeal lies with the Pokemon themselves. Who would have guessed? Artist Ken Sugimori's designs for the original 151 Pokemon are legendary.
I do really like all this artwork. Like a lot. I love it. Injected into my veins. More shooting in Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, yeah, it's like an FPS, bro. Being like, bro, why can't I circle straight from this game or whatever, you know?
Critics may dismiss these early Pokemon as nothing more
I mean, he's not being like rude about it like I was, but yeah.
than exaggerated versions of real life
Yeah, I feel bad. Let's like the video again.
animals. But that's missing the point. The simplicity is what makes these Pokemon so appealing to both kids and adults. With a little imagination, you can easily picture these creatures existing in our world and get lost in the fantasy.
This is what the last guy was saying. What the fuck? They even said it towards the end of the video too. Well, this has a decent amount of ways to go, but you know, that's weird. That's a weird coincidence. Also, he didn't time that right. He should have slowed down, or yeah, he should have slowed down the scroll to not have that. Like you get to the end, it just stops. Also, what's this car? Is he doxing himself right now? That better not be his car.
As young, I would frequently daydream of favorites like
I doubt it. That'd be weird.
Rhyhorn, racing along.
Why is he showing us the ass though?
Beside our family.
I wish I could like the video again.
My
You
car.
still going, me boy? I am. I know you didn't say me boy, but I am, yes. Dude,
get-
streaming is weird. Like time flew by and I don't feel like 3 hours passed.
Gyarados leaping out of the
You guys, everybody in the Circle of Jerks community are all weak motherfuckers for not streaming 4 hours every stream. Either that or they have stuff to do. One of the two.
ocean while spending time at the beach. Many Pokemon have creative inspirations that resonate with players even if they don't know the full backstory. The idea
Okay, I like how he didn't have. I like how he didn't. He just showed the image on screen and did a little graphic design, and that kind of like told the whole story. Why are you giving me money? Frank over I just feed Mexican. That is true. It immediately got a like. That's funny. Thank you. And now I feel super obligated to finish up the monetization thing because I never finished setting it up, so I've never been paid. But I think now I do have enough money so they can pay me. So now I feel obligated, Don, you beautiful bastard. Here's a Copa for you. You earned the Copa.
behind the lowly Magikarp, if given enough patient care and attention, transforming
I really should have done that a long time ago, but it's not like this channel's been being used or anything.
into the fearsome Gyarados is pulled directly from
Why are you giving me money? I love you. Why are you giving me money?
Chinese myth.
That's my best gay Mexican accent.
This set of 151 feels truly connected. They aren't just a random assortment of creatures. The shared
Oh wow, somebody who isn't shitting on the designs for Gen 1. That's honestly like a first. Unless he changes that here in a second.
design language, easier said than done, is instrumental in making them feel cohesive.
Did he say sign
more than
language
that.
or Zine language?
They aren't just a random assortment of creatures. The shared design language,
Oh, he
easier
said design, not... I'm stupid.
said than done, is instrumental in making them feel cohesive. But it's more than that. There is a large amount of pairing between different counterparts that tie them together.
He's
wheel-
literally... I've never heard anybody talk about this. I wish I could... Here, let's dislike it and like it again. Good job, dude. Nobody ever talks about this. Like, barely. Ever. But yeah, it's true.
And Caterpie line goes without saying. But you've also got the Vulpix and Growlithe
Okay, this one I don't know. I don't know, yeah, kind of.
lines, Oddish and Bellsprout,
Yeah, this is more like version exclusives. Who shits on Gen 1's design? Dude, literally everybody. They always do. That's why we have a space. Where is it? Is it here? Might not be on this one. Yeah, this one. The Gen 1 designs are bad too. Because everybody always does that. They have to shit on the Gen 1 designs. Because they feel the need to do it in their soul. They won't shit on everything, obviously, but they will be like, oh, just it's a Pokeball but backwards. It's bad, huh?
Jigglypuff and Clefairy, Diglett
What are you talking about, me? I have literally no idea what you're referring to, but I agree.
and Magnemite, Scyther and Pinsir, Jigglypuff and Clefairy,
Alhamdulillah. He's not shitting on this. What's the other thing that they say? Alhamdulillah. What's the other one? Mashallah, but I'll say Marsh Yeshua. What's the other one? I forget, whatever.
Diglett and Magnemite,
I'll say Marsh Yeshua. I don't even think I'm saying that right.
Scyther and Pinsir,
Yes. I mean, this one doesn't really count, but okay.
the two Hitmons,
Yes.
the fossils,
Yes.
and obviously the legendary bird.
Okay, this one I don't agree with. This is a stretch. They're just all legendary birds. They're not really counterparts. They're just part of being legendary and birds. I don't really agree with this one, but okay.
Beyond these
There's
objects,
actually a few like other, like he didn't mention Magmar and Electabuzz, which you could say. You turn into Islam. Yeah. What's the other one they say? Mashallah, Alhamdulillah. Oh, what's it's not I forget the one they say.
pairings, there are so
I like changing it to Jesus.
many interesting little details that lead to fan theories so grounded they must have some level of validity.
This is pretty funny though.
Is it a coincidence that Gengar and Clefable
This is also pretty funny.
have the exact same silhouette? Or that Cubone looks exactly like a baby
Then I've never cared that much for this one, honestly.
Kangaskhan? My favorite is the theory that Ditto is a failed Mew clone. Ditto is found within the Pokemon Mansion,
I haven't got to this part of the game in my No, Terrace. No. That's very Islamophobic of you. How dare you? Here, I'll give you a couple for that. Sans Undertale is Ness from Earthbound. Yeah, that's another Pokemon comparison you can make. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I haven't got to this part of the game yet, so I don't remember what the notes say.
Where Mewtwo was created and shares similar coloring as
I'm kidding, by the way.
Mew, not to mention the exact same weight and shared exclusivity to the move Transform. There's no way details like that just line up by accident. Speaking of, I
Mosh Yeshua.
adore the way Mewtwo
Alhamdulillah Yeshua.
is built up in the player's
I think it's
mind.
actually Yeshua. Or Yashua. Yeshua? It's something like that. Or Yashua? No, it's not that. It doesn't sound that much. It doesn't sound Yashua-ish, but it also isn't Yeshua. Oh, no, maybe it is Yeshua, because the actual Hebrew is, or I think it's Aramaic, is Yeshua. So I think it is Yeshua. Yeah.
With all these journal lore dumps. Hunting this ultimate life form down is a great post-game quest in the Cerulean Cave. It only works so well because players come to understand his story and significance long before coming face to face with the monster itself.
I can't really comment on that because I've known about Mewtwo before the games. God, shouting demonic spells. Yeah, his video is so bad that I had to curse him. I had to challenge him to a Mubakala.
The game's limited graphical
Mubakala is a prayer battle that they do, where they both face each other, state their position, and they ask Allah to curse the one that's lying or that's wrong.
abilities and garish sprite.
See, I challenge this man to Mubakala. Oh, what happened? Oh no, I just closed that. Okay, I thought I killed the stream. What even happened? Why did that happen? Whatever. I guess I lost the Mubakala. He killed the stream.
Even after Pokemon Yellow's enhancements, can only do so much to sell these fantastical creatures to children. If only there was a collectible card game with lush art of what these primitive sprites were meant to evoke. Better yet, can you imagine if there was an entire anime adaptation that existed to fuel children's
Oh,
imagination?
it did mess up on your guys' end. Okay. That was weird.
And provide an idea of how these Pokemon actually might have moved, sounded, or battled. The anime may not be especially high art, but the Monster of the Week format fits Pokemon perfectly, and you can't knock that
Are we just done talking about the games? No, okay, he goes back to
theme
it.
song. All of
Okay, I was about to say, don't play the theme song, please.
this is to say that these creatures aren't simply a set of pixels and numbers on a spreadsheet. To players, they are a living being just begging to be discovered. It's no surprise that our quest to catch them all was always more fulfilling than
Oh, the bingo's gone. There we go.
challenging the Elite Four or defeating Team Rocket. Everyone has their favorites, and the different teams that players choose form
Which manga? There's like 6 different ones.
a sort of
I would like to read that one day.
identity for each player. I couldn't resist throwing together a tier list of each fully evolved Gen 1
Oh, cool. Okay, let's see. Let's zoom this in for my... No, let's look it on the other screen. Adventure / special. Is that the one where the Arbok gets cut in half? I think that's the one that most people like. Okay, so this is in terms of design, right? I don't know if I would put Gengar this high in terms of design. Wait, hold on. Let's back it up, see what he actually said.
kit. Everyone has their favorites, and the different teams that players choose form a sort of identity for each player. I couldn't resist throwing together a tier list of each fully evolved Gen 1 Pokemon to show off some of my own personal favorites.
Okay, I'm guessing it is in terms of design because that's what the whole point of the segment is. I don't agree. Wait, why is Ditto this high? No way, bro. Ditto's mid tier or right here. Come on, it can't be that high. I don't know if I agree with Gengar. I kind of agree with the starters. I like Mew. Yeah, he's pretty good. Lapras, interesting. This guy. I would put him in A, maybe B. Actually, I would put Zapdos in S. I think Zapdos is really good. Also, you didn't answer my question. Is that the manga where the Arbok gets cut in half? Am I right? Is that a different one? Please answer. Oh yeah, you already answered. Sorry, there's a delay. My bad. Yeah. I don't know if I would have this guy this high either. Yeah, I don't have a real problem with this. Actually no, he's good there. Yeah, I'm surprised this guy is this high. Usually people would be like, "This is garbage," and put him all the way down just because there's 3 of them. Yeah, I agree. I would put Raichu a bit higher. I'd put him in B. I would also put this guy a bit higher. Actually, nah, he's fine there. Yeah.
I'm sure this won't
I
incite
was gonna scroll down. Where's the other ones? Oh no, you said fully evolved. My bad. Mr. Mime all the way down here? No, he's got to be in C at least. That's cool, meme. What is that from? Just DM me that, and I'll look at it. I wouldn't put this guy. Oh, my voice just... Can you hear it? It just left my body. This happened yesterday when I was recording as well. Oh, I think it's back. Okay. No, it's mostly back now. Hypno wouldn't be so low. Yeah, where is he? Oh, yeah, why is he... No, bro, he's got to be at least C. At least. I don't know. I don't think I would put any of these Pokemon in D. I think they would all be C. I would lower Lickitung. And maybe muck-based ointments. I don't know. I like Gen 1's designs too much to really...
any sort of strike.
Wait, isn't that the one? Wait, meme, isn't that the one that killed all those Japanese children? That's the episode, right?
In the comments. I don't think there's too many hot takes, but someone out there is deeply offended right now. I can get
Deeply offended, no. I would put Farfetch'd a little higher. I like Vaporeon for reasons. So I never really understood that whole thing, but I know it's like a degenerate thing, so I'm gonna judge you from afar. Yeah.
guarantee it. Yellow's Pikachu makes baby steps towards evolving the relationship between trainer and Pokemon beyond just
It's funny he says that because Pikachu doesn't evolve in Yellow.
battling. This is something future games would continue to push. Regardless, even if
No, but I thought, okay, maybe I... Okay, no, I guess I misread what you said. I thought you said he was catching them. I thought he catched a whole bunch of Tauros in the episode with the Poly, what's his face?
battling is our sole interaction with our Pokemon, it's still hard not
Yeah, have you guys liked the button? The like button? Have you guys liked the like button yet?
to fall in love with your chosen team.
Yeah, Copa's doing your job for you, meme. Come on. Yeah, I've heard the Jigglypuff thing before.
Pokemon isn't like other role-playing games. These
What the fuck?
aren't just generic monsters for your protagonist to defeat.
Whoa, Mew in the Elite Four battle? That's funny.
They are imaginative and distinct creations to befriend as you carry out your
Nobody catches them all. Wow, he caught way more. He caught way more than usual. Okay, for a second I thought this said 1,000. I'm like, that's impossible.
adventure. Even more so than the creatures themselves, Memories are formed through the interactions the games facilitate
I really like this. I really like the sprite. I've never seen it, or I don't remember seeing it rather.
among
Also,
siblings,
what's up, Vincent? How's it going? You like Pokemon?
friends, and classmates. Ironically, what truly sets Pokemon apart lies outside the games themselves. The single-player format can't offer sufficient challenge to motivate a player to spend 100 hours training their dream team to level 100.
Which is why you gotta play Stadium, right? That's what he's gonna say, guys. He's definitely gonna say that and not competitive.
That drive to be the very best, like no one ever was, can only be found on the playground battling your similarly obsessed peers.
Okay, I guess. Well, he said playground, so he is advocating to us to go to our local playground and play with children.
The
That's what he said.
aforementioned balance issues and limited viable options don't even put a dent in players' desires to prove themselves. The player versus player
He actually showed it on stream or on screen.
battle mode was so
Do we stand corrected, chat?
popular that Nintendo even shipped Pokemon Stadium, an N64 companion title where players could battle on the big screen with impressive, for the time, 3D models.
The model quality, yeah, it's not impressive for nowadays, but it's sadly, in terms of Gen 1 and 2 at least, like the best animations. Which is really sad. Because they're too long. They're a bit too long. The battles take a bit too long because of the long animations. They could do something way better than this nowadays. Shin Megami Tensei /ban. Get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Jason mentioned that game in his video, but he didn't just mention it in passing. He actually did a little comparison and contrasting, which is good.
Multiplayer battling was
He
instrumental
didn't really. I mean, he mentioned it as a multiplayer thing, but not as like the normal single player stuff, which is really unfortunate because Stadium 2, they're basically post games for Gen 1 and 2, and they're really fun, and they make the games really fun.
to the
Decent challenge. It's actually fun if you use your own Pokemon. If you just use the rentals, it's not as fun.
game's enduring appeal for sure, but I'd argue the ability to trade between games was the more important feature. I think
Let's see what he says.
many take for granted just how groundbreaking it is to enable one player to send bits of their save file over to their friend's save. The games are largely built in a manner that encourages this kind of trade negotiations between players. Each game has its own set of exclusive Pokemon that are impossible to catch in the other versions. An Ekans might be commonplace for a red version player, but, try as they might, blue players will never find one in the wild.
Super sad.
Maybe they offer a Sandshrew in exchange. Suddenly,
Not maybe. It's literally that's the other one.
each player has expanded their collection with a new, rare to them, Pokemon. Not to mention sowing the seeds for a new friendship outside the game. Pokemon like the starters, the Eevee evolutions, and the Hitmons present the player with a choice and lock the other options away, once again incentivizing a tit for
Lock the other options away, unless, though, you have Pokemon Stadium, in which you can have a chance to get all those Pokemon again as a prize for beating the Elite Four and then your battle, and then your rival. Battling your rival. I think. It's that one. So yeah, if you beat the Elite Four and then your rival, you get either one of the starters, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, or one of the fossils. I don't think you can get Aerodactyl, though.
approach to trading.
So even if you're locked into picking just one in the main game, you can get more that way. I don't remember if you can get more Eevees, though. I think you can.
Teamwork is similarly essential in securing the powerful trade evolutions of Golem, Gengar, Alakazam, and Machamp. This is undeniably annoying for me, playing these games as an adult by myself a quarter century later.
You can trade to yourself. I mean, I don't know if he's playing on an emulation. I'm still like half convinced he's actually just recording his Game Boy. So if he only has the one game, yeah. Sucks to be him, I guess.
But it was magic for the target demographic at the time. This is something that is only possible on a handheld. The link cable seems tailor-built for this exact implementation. despite Pokemon releasing nearly a decade into the Game Boy's lifespan. Innovative ideas like this single-handedly revitalized the aging hardware. The in-game multiplayer modes are limited to battling and trading with friends, but I'd argue the exchange of information between players.
So I didn't know this until recently, but Pokemon Yellow actually has a secondary mode where it like restricts what kind of Pokemon you can bring into a specific battle, which is some of the cups that got implemented into Stadium, which is pretty cool.
Is an equally critical piece.
So like the 15 to 20 league, the 50 to 55, and I forget the other one. Those were originally in Pokemon Yellow specifically that you could pick, which is super cool. I don't think you can do them like with a different I don't think you can do that in Pokemon Stadium. What am I saying? I don't think you can do that in Pokemon Yellow unless you're battling with another person that also has Yellow, which is kind of sucks, but they're in Stadium.
Puzzle.
And the rule set's in Stadium too, so you can just do that.
In an age preceding the internet, these games were overflowing with mystery and required.
I think it's Stadium. It's either Stadium 1 and 2 or just 2. You can make a custom rule set, which unfortunately you can't customize it that much, but it is pretty cool.
Players to pool their knowledge together if they wanted to uncover all the hidden secrets. The legendary birds Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres were intentionally hidden within optional areas, lying in wait for players to discover one night and
I love Zapdos.
then race to school to share with their friends. Can you imagine the look on your real-world opponent's face when you use your Mewtwo in a battle, a Pokemon he's read about but had no idea where to find? Chansey is only catchable in the Safari Zone, where it possesses a minuscule 1% encounter rate. Couple that with the many superstitions.
Is it 1%? I thought it was 5. No, I think it is 1%.
On how best to catch Pokemon within the Safari Zone, and you have a Pokemon whose very existence seems to be to get players talking to each other. And of course, who can forget the infamous Mew under the truck rumor?
This is another thing I need to record for my video because I've never done this. I actually already set it up. I got kicked out, so the boat's still there. What?
While the Generation 1 games may be difficult to return to, their core appeal remains timeless. 25 years ago or today,
What are you saying, Vincent? I don't know what you're saying.
it makes no difference.
Explain yourself in another comment, please.
Kids'
Do it in Mandarin.
imaginations are
Don't do it in Mandarin. I was kidding.
hungry for something to latch onto. Kids
Also, Vincent, did I show you the Copa button? I don't think I showed you the Copa button. Here's Copa. Now he's gone. Now he's here. Now he's gone.
and kids at heart will always want to prove themselves to their peers, express their uniqueness through their team choices, and share in their mutual love of games. The early Pokemon games made countless silly fumbles, but they fundamentally understood what motivates players, and motivates humans as a whole, honestly. When your vision is that strong, the technical details cease to matter. You've already struck gold.
Epic.
Speaking of gold, this is the first entry in a new video series that will of course continue with the
Yeah, well, I'll watch the Gen 2 video when we do Gen 2 in like a year. Vincent, I don't see you retyping your damn comment. What the hell's the matter with you? Maybe you need to look at Copa more. Maybe you are typing, I don't know. I forget there's a delay. Lucifer, what are you doing? Stop giving me money. Did you miss anything fun? Kind of. A little bit. I don't think it was as eventful as last week's thing. Okay, he did mention move pools. Let's see what he has to say. I guess I missed it. I'm pressing.
Pokemon have
I was pressing OBS again. I see my mistake. I misspelled Zapdos. Yeah, you misspelled it quite a bit there. I thought you were making a joke or something. Where's the post-credit scene? We're skipping that. We don't care about that. Yeah, you missed J-Mac, dude. Yeah, dude, the Copa. He's everywhere.
extensive move pools, including access to the extremely solid 90 base power.
Okay, he said, is this the only... No, he only mentioned move pools once. But... here, let's go back to Copa. Moves. Because I want that freaking bingo, dude. I am not a Pokemon geek. That's not my fault, dude. Let's see.
Even non-damaging moves can have a strong effect, given how effortless.
Okay, no, not that. Oh, is it this? Does this count?
Defense stats, and crucially resist normal type moves, severely limiting your options for facing him. If you picked Bulbasaur or Squirtle,
No, saying it. All right, let's keep looking. We're searching for this bingo. Water moves, no. Not that. Resist fire moves, no. Psychic moves, no. I can't even see that. No. Oh, is it? No, this is something else.
Bug, and Ghost.
Yeah, no, let's talking about the typings. I don't think we're getting that bingo, boys.
There, types fall into two categories.
Yeah, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. I don't think we're getting that bingo. Yeah, wrench costs 20 Californian dollars, which is like 80 billion Canadian. So, yeah. Which reminds me, somebody gave me 20 billion Canadian dollars earlier. And it was Copa. So there you go, Copa. Yeah, I don't think we're getting this bingo. I don't see. I might have missed it in the video. And if I was doing like a continuous bingo thing, then I would have gotten the bingo because the other guy mentioned the move pools and how they're bad. But I don't think this guy ever mentioned it. I can't see it anything in the transcript, and I don't remember it happening. So I don't think we got a bingo, guys, because he definitely considered trading. He definitely mentioned that. Only a madman would give Lucifer a wrench. Yeah, dude. No wrench for the Lightbringer. Hell no. By the way, my girlfriend said she was getting those $2. Hell no, she ain't. Hell no. She's crazy. She's not watching anymore. Chad, you think I can no, never mind. We're not doing that. Yeah, I don't think. Oh wait, he did. Okay, even though it doesn't literally matter, but he did mention the Mew under the truck. Wait.
Physical and special. Physical moves use the attack and defense stats to calculate damage, while special moves just use the special stat. This stat is a 2-for-1 deal. A high special stat means a Pokemon can
He
fire
did.
off
Okay,
high
he is I mean, he's not complaining, like bitching about it, but he is talking about the split. He didn't mention the yellow level changes. He did mention like the different team layouts, but he didn't mention the level changes. But he never complained about Gen 1ers, so we still don't have a bingo there. Did he mention nostalgia? Was meme right the whole time, guys? Was meme right the whole time? Does he mention the word nostalgia? I don't think he does. No, I mistyped it. Nostalgia. There we go. I have to say it in Spanish in my brain and out loud. I don't think he mentioned it. Wait.
nostalgia.
He said the words. No, hold on.
To relive the original jank. I assure you this is independent of my own personal nostalgia. These remakes perfectly polish and preserve.
He mentioned it. Does that count, chat? Yeah, that counts. We got a bingo. We got a bingo. Yeah. Technically, because he didn't mention the level changes for yellow. He did mention how they were different, but not specifically the level changes. There we go. Okay, we actually did get a bingo. Awesome. Wow, we're almost 4 hours in. No, what do you mean no? Shut up, meme. You called it earlier. You were right. Also, is there that much latency? Oh no, I'm just behind on my second monitor. Not my second monitor, my second laptop. What are you saying? What are you saying, Mr. Lucifer? No, I'm not. I'm gonna set it up. Cause Don also gave me money. Give it up, that's fake. He said nostalgia, dude. He literally brought it up in the video. And the levels, he didn't mention the levels. He mentioned the movesets changing, but he didn't mention the levels changing, and that is arguably just as important. Sabrina has a level 50 Kadabra in yellow. She doesn't have that in red or blue. It's important. So yeah, we got it. And I'm going to give Mr. Bozo's wrench to Lucifer now. No, I was kidding. Sorry, Lucifer. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit. All right. That was good. We did 2 videos in almost 5 hours or almost 4 hours. I don't think this... Well, no, there was a few things. Was there? See, I usually laugh at streamers for not remembering shit. But now I don't remember what we did. And we literally just finished doing it. I think streaming is bad for your health. Also, it still says that there's 8 people here, but there's no way there's 8 people here. Right? I'm afraid to reload the page. Actually, no, let's just reload the page on here. Is there 8 people here? Sound off in the chat if there's 8 people here still. I highly doubt it. But yeah, what are we rating this video? We rated the last one a 6. I would say this one's probably a 7, maybe 6.5. Nah, I would say it's a 7. The presentation is a lot better. Dude, I just got an ad. I hate that ad. It's like some chick eating food and she's like moving her head back and forward or side to side and be like, I hate it. It's so annoying. Okay, there's only 7 people watching. 1 of you left. Still around? Jason, you're a real one. You're more real than Meme, who's a fake friend. Just kidding, Meme. This is a 7 point, etc., etc. Yeah, I agree. All right. I think that's it. I think we're done. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, bored you a little? Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh. I don't like, I feel bad about shitting on people. Especially he only has 5,000 subs. I mean, I only have 600, so whatever. But, you know. How long has he been making videos? Here, let's bring up a couple while we look that up. Peace out. Peace out, Vincent. Surprised you showed up. But thanks for stopping by, I guess. Oldest video. Oh, wait. Have I seen this channel before? Maybe not. Everybody uses this. Here, let me show you. Everybody uses this generic-ass artwork for... Not generic, but, you know, the same Legend of Zelda artwork for their thumbnails. So I don't know if I've seen this video or not, but everybody uses it. I wouldn't have watched that one to the end. See, that's the thing, Jason. I agree. But I felt that way for most Gen 1 videos for a long time now. I think, what's his name? Not K-Bash, that's the other guy. What's his name? Here, let's look it up. What's his name? What's his name? Not K-Bash, that's the other guy that I talked about in my God of War video. It's the other guy that also has a K in his name. Gotta look up review. Why am I all of a sudden getting a whole bunch of different Gen 1 reviews that I've never seen before when I look up Gen 1 review? Where the fuck is he? King K. Yeah, it was King K. Yeah, since
Friend Pokemon and
shut
trainer.
the fuck up. Super loud. Since this video, here, let's just play it on mute. I feel like since this video in, what was it, 2019? Pokemon Gen 1, yeah, there you go. Pokemon Gen 1 videos have been in decline since this one. Not to say this is like the cause of it, but this was like the last one where I went, oh, that I felt like I've gained some sort of information, or this was worth watching, even though I know or already knew some of the stuff that were being said. Which is really a shame, because there is still a lot to talk about with Gen 1, I feel. There's a lot of different angles you could take. But yeah, this is like the last one that I was able to like sit through and actually enjoy. Ever since this, every time I click on a Gen 1 video, I watch like 2 minutes and then I go, man, I don't feel like watching this. Because they all start the same. They all start the same. They all use the same music. They all have the same talking points, more or less. And hopefully that's what I'm going to change with my video. Hopefully. And by hopefully, I mean I'm literally going to do that. So yeah. Ending things is hard. I kind of want to keep going, but it's late. I should probably, yeah, I should edit. Dude, I was contemplating doing editing streams. But if I'm going to do that, I got to make sure I don't cuss as much while recording the footage or while recording the voiceover. Cuz it gets pretty absurd when I flub a line and I'm upset at myself and I call myself certain words. That some people would find not very tasteful. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling now. Hey, is what's his face still alive? Here, let's do that just in case. Is he still alive? I doubt he's still alive. No, they're not still alive. Okay, I'll rewatch the live. Anyways, oh no, this guy is still alive though. Here, let's. Wait, what the fuck? Who's that? Is AC live? He is live. Okay. That's weird. I didn't know he was going to be live. Yeah, let's just stream snipe him for a little bit. Alright, peace out, meme. I am stream sniping you right now. Say hi to Jason. I don't think Jason's still here, but whatever. Yeah, this is transformative content, guys. I don't know what game this is. Oh, it says it right there. Yeah. I don't think Jason heard you there, but yeah. All right. I'll tell you later, AC. All right. Thank you all for watching. You're still around? Well, Angry Canadian says hi. You're trapped in a car? That sounds epic, dude. All right. I'm leaving. I'm winding down. I'm going to end the stream, I swear. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong laptop. I'm about to share a link on the wrong laptop. Yeah, Jason, if you want to roast my videos in your car by yourself, there's a link to the channel where I actually upload videos too, if you care. If you have time on your hands, I have a 4-hour God of War 2 video. If you care. See you, bud. See you. All right, we're actually ending this for real now. Peace out, guys. I might be streaming next week. I'm not sure. I actually might be streaming during the week. Yeah. Anyways, peace out.